Warning. You are entering Open Lines Friday. For today anything goes. Thank you for your cooperation.
Listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
What are you up to? Just chilling?
All right.
No, I think Abucho's about to start the show.
We're live. We're live. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena. Open Lines Friday. Anything goes. Anybody can join. The link is in the description of this video and in the chat. So let's get this party started. All right. We already have here the Quags and Never Sobers. Guys, what's up? What up?
What up?
All right. So I don't know if you guys watched the weigh-in. Joshua came in at 150. I don't remember, 154, I think. Sorry, 254, and Dubois like highs 240, 248 or something like that. Anyway, there's not much of a difference. They both look confident. Dubois looks extremely confident, I would say. He doesn't look scared. Some people were saying that he was scared and that he showed that he was scared of Joshua in that face-off that they had when they almost fought each other there. I don't think so, man. I think they're both confident. What do you guys think about this fight? Are you guys? Well, you probably already talked about it with Mr. BDA. But Quacks, we didn't hear about Quacks. Quacks, give us your take on this.
I think it's gonna be fun. I think AJ will get him around 8 to 9, something around there. But we'll see how it goes. I think AJ actually has a better chance to take him later as well than Dubois does. I think he'll gas first. But we'll see. It'll be a fun fight.
Dubois didn't do that bad against Lomachenko. Sorry, Lomachenko. What's wrong with me today? With Usyk, against Usyk, he didn't do that bad. I think he has good fundamentals. I don't think he should be underestimated. But if you have to pick one guy, I think it's gonna be AJ, just because of the experience. He's been in there in big fights. But
yeah, and they probably want to give it to him too.
Yeah, but don't discount Dubois, man. This guy's no joke. He's no joke. He defeated Hrgovic. Some people forget, who was supposed to be the boogeyman of the heavyweight division. He clearly defeated him. Again, he didn't do that bad against Usyk. But a lot of people still, they still remember that loss that he had against what's his name again? The other Brit. Anyways, fuck, what's his name? Anyways, the first loss he suffered,
Talk about Joe Joyce.
Joe Joyce. Yeah, Joe Joyce. Sorry, my mind is blank today. All right, BDA's telling me to boost my volume.
Stop smoking that weed, Bucho, down.
Yeah, I know, man. Fuck, I don't know what's going on. I'm fucking tired. But yeah, again, just to sum it up, don't discount Dubois. All right, guys. My prediction is AJ by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dubois stops AJ. That's right. I wouldn't be surprised if he stops AJ. Yep.
I think AJ's going to stop Dubois.
It's possible, man.
Yeah,
it's a 60-40
fight.
Be
a fun fight, though, bro.
I hope it is. I hope it's a fun fight. People in the
Or
chat,
maybe
what
they'll
are
be
they saying?
intimidated. They'll be intimidated by each other and not do shit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could happen. We've seen AJ play it very safe when he has to, or like for example against Joseph Parker. He played it safe. He knew Parker was dangerous, but he also knew that he could win a 12-round fight just by staying from the outside. He also did that against Andy Ruiz in the rematch. So it's possible that AJ's boxing skills, his jab and all that, he can be enough to take him to a 12-round win. So it could be a boring fight. Could be a boring fight. Um, people in the chat, what are they saying?
Is that McGee and Bozingyan?
What's that?
Isn't McGee and Bozingyan today?
Yeah, he's boxing today. I don't even know who he's fighting, to be honest.
He's some dude from Canada. I thought
Oh,
BJ
yeah,
was
yeah,
training
yeah,
him. He was on
yeah,
here
yeah,
telling
yeah.
us about it.
Yeah, VDA talked about it. I don't really know that guy.
He told us he was his big guy.
He what?
He told us he holds a hand miss for him.
Oh, really? I don't know. Possible. I don't know. I don't even know who that is. Oh, you're joking. I thought you were serious. I was like, it's possible.
Yeah, bro, come on.
Okay, I don't know. No, I don't even think he's from Quebec.
Well, he's
though.
from Canada, bro. He's from
No, but
Canada.
he's not from. He's not. He's. I don't even know if he's from Quebec. No, BDA says I never said that. Okay, there you go. I thought you were being serious. But yeah, Munguia's fighting. By the way, is that fight a Golden Boy fight?
I believe so, but I also think Richard Torres, is he fighting today too? I know Emiliano and
Yes.
Richard Torres are
Yes.
fighting on one of these cards.
Yes, Richard Torres. This guy, I don't know what to say about this. I mean, is he really a heavyweight? You know, I mean, he's 6'2", I believe. I don't remember his weight, but he's a small heavyweight, and he doesn't possess Tyson-like power, which would make the difference, which would compensate for his small stature. So, what does he have that makes him special?
We got that Mexican work ethic, tenacity, heart.
Yeah,
he
but
got
that can
that
only,
dog.
I mean, that can only take you so far, especially in a heavyweight division that's full of giants. I'm not discounting this guy
All
out
these guys
yet,
are
but
lazy fat asses. Well, if we seen Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, I could see Richard Torres becoming a champ.
right. But you know what? Andy Ruiz is more explosive, believe it or not, than this guy.
Yeah. Also, I think Andy Ruiz has a real particular way of hitting people. You know, the more I watch him fight, he likes to hit people on top of the head near the temple.
Yeah.
And he catches them like that. I think that's why he hurts people.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's how he caught AJ, of course, behind. Yeah, but with Richard Torres, I don't know, man. He doesn't even look like he sets up his punches.
Yeah, he needs more experience. He needs more tempering. You know, he needs to like wind in a little bit. He needs to be more patient when he fights. Yeah, because he does just try to maul all of his opponents
Right.
for the whole fight. But you know, I mean, that could work though against some of these fat asses though.
That's a good point. That's a good point that you brought. I mean, if that's gonna be his thing, then it might work for him. Basically, outworking his opponents, having more stamina. But still, man, he's gonna be fighting dangerous guys, pretty big guys with a lot of power. So we have to see. We have to wait and see. Obviously, experience is lacking. Boxing with Frank Bay says Torres is still learning. Yeah, that's true. He says he lacks dexterity. Yeah. He looks too stiff. Very stiff. What else? Yeah, but so is Munguia gonna leave Golden Boy or what's gonna happen? Because it doesn't seem like.
From what I heard, Oscar De La Hoya said that they're going to be with him for a while. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Oh, okay. Because I heard rumors.
They're letting him work. They're letting him work with other people. Because I remember there was rumors like that a while ago.
Right.
And he made a little video trying to address it. So whether it's true or not, you know, I mean, shit. Munguia didn't say anything about it.
Okay. So yeah, because I heard the same rumors and I was just wondering. And then this fight is on ESPN, so I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's Munguia. I would like to see Munguia against the Puerto Rican guy just fought, Berlanga. That would be a good
Berlanga, yeah,
fight.
I think that'd be a pretty good firefight, man.
I'd probably sell all right too.
Right. And it's a more even fight. I mean, again, I didn't give my thoughts on the Canelo Berlanga fight. I think Berlanga did better than what people expected. Uh, that he did better than what I expected, and it's not an excuse, because Canelo didn't stop him. Now I'm all of a sudden making up excuses. Oh well, he didn't knock him out because Berlanga's better than we expected. I mean, he showed us that he doesn't even have that bad of a defense. But he's still inferior to Canelo. Obviously, I think he probably won one round, max. So he's not at that level, but he is at the Munguia level. I think that fight would be very interesting because it would be very competitive. And Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just gonna say. Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
Now you don't make me lost my train of thought, Bucho. You don't fuck me up, man.
Fuck.
Oh God.
All right. I think it's a delay here. We also have Frank. We have Frank. If you want to jump in, guys, don't forget the link is in the description.
Gang.
Go ahead, man. What's up?
Oh no, just saluting the gang. You're talking about Berlanga. You switch gears, Berlanga and Canelo.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Bucho? I mean, I was here. I just jumped in. You said,
no,
were you happy about it, or?
I'm disappointed because he didn't stop him. But then again, I mean, Berlanga he looked big. We knew he was going to be a big guy, but that's not an excuse. But he not only was he bigger than Canelo, but he wasn't as bad as I thought. As I've seen him in other fights, where he looked extremely average. And the power, we knew. I mean, the power wasn't. All right, let's go back to a few years ago when Berlanga was knocking all these guys out. That was the thing everybody was talking about. Berlanga, the power. But then he started to go through the Keith Thurman phase where that power wasn't really all there. So then I was like, well, what does this guy have? He doesn't have really anything. He's average.
Yeah, but doesn't that prove that? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, he just proved me wrong. He actually told me he has decent skills. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I mean, who really knows shit about boxing, right? Because if you got on here and said, "Oh, it's going to be competitive," well, it wasn't really competitive, but Berlanga was going to last them. Oh, you don't know shit about boxing. Canelo's going to wipe the floor with them. And I said, hey, man, he's young, strong, hungry. He's coming to perform. And people are going to crucify you for saying that. But if you said that, then you're right. Just like everybody got the Devin Haney Garcia fight wrong. So if you said Canelo, you got it wrong. You don't know boxing. I mean, if you were saying that. Look, take what you feel about Canelo and what you feel about Berlanga and just break it down boxing wise. Canelo's a 5'7" little Mexican going against monsters. If he doesn't knock him out, then that's just boxing. That's what proves your skills in the ring, right? Is okay, I'm facing these bigger guys. I need to find a way to beat them from a strictly boxing standpoint. Now, if you don't like it, if you say, oh, it's boring, I don't like it, then that's fair too. But I mean, you got to look at it from a boxing standpoint sometimes.
Right. But what do you think about this expectation that people have about Canelo? He has to knock everybody out.
And again, that's fair because if we hail these guys, Bud Crawford and Nui and Canelo as pound for pound, that's our expectations. And that's why I said, these guys, they love Crawford. They think he walks on water, but he struggled against Madrimov. Look, man, I hear people, it was Madrimov. Look, what do they say? Oh, Crawford's going to beat Canelo because of his ring IQ. Well, what was that ring IQ versus Madrimov? Is that a fair argument?
The feints, bro. He couldn't get past the feints.
Right, the in and out style, man. You can't beat that, man. So, look, man, but yes, pound for pound, Anui got ranked so high because he's obliterating these guys, right? And that's what people want to see. People want to see the knockouts, right? Who was Hearns? Wasn't Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Durant? Isn't that what they were doing to their opponents? Is obliterating them? The only guy who never did that was Fraud Mayrunner, right? He introduced us to the sweet science, man.
Yeah,
and so. Right.
But
But people, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're absolutely right. I mean, you cannot dispute a knockout. It seems like lately, if a fight goes to a decision, it's all an automatic criticism, right? Like, oh, he couldn't stop. Oh, it was a close fight. Then some people even take it a step further and start saying, well, I think the other guy won. It's like, wait a minute. I mean, just because he goes to a decision doesn't mean it was a 50-50 fight. So,
Yeah, we know who that guy is.
yeah.
That guy's on here and he comes in. It's it's all fake if it goes 12, and
Yeah.
we know who that clown is. But yeah, but it is fair because we're comparing. Like, look, say what you want about Tank Davis, but he's getting those guys out of there. I know we criticize him, but he is doing that. And if we're paying $90, $100, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see back foot bitching anymore. I think we let me it, I know people complain that even casuals that I'm watching it with, how come Canelo doesn't get him out of there? And I'm the nerd saying, well, you don't understand boxing. He's small, but people don't want to hear that shit.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You don't want to hear that shit, and it is a fact that he's 5'7". He's not even 5'9", and even if he was 5'9", he's still small for that division for super middleweight. So it's not a lie.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
After that fight, I had to start curbing my expectations from Canelo a little bit because, like you were saying, he is 5'7", bro, and now you were saying 5'9", bro. He's more like 5'7", and he's getting older, and it doesn't seem like he's trying to put himself out. I mean, he was walking him down, coming forward the whole time, right? But like I said this before, he wasn't coming at him like he did, like he was coming at John Ryder with reckless abandon.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little more careful and not willing to put himself out there in the danger zone just as much. Because near the end of the fight, Berlanga did start landing some hard shots, and
I think Canelo got tired a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So he's tempering himself throughout the fight to make himself last the right way. So he knows his body, right? So he's he's doing what he needs to do last the fight, right? So like, I was expecting a knockout, but I was expecting a knockout, bro. But we can start curbing. I got to start curbing my expectations, and
Yeah.
we got to see what Berlanga does in his next fight, bro, to see what he's really about. And then that's what we'll know.
Right.
Bet to knockout when he fights Crawford. He's knocking him out.
Oh no!
But Bucha,
knock out Crawford.
But Bucha, I just thought of something. Very similar fighter. Bernard Hopkins was doing what Canelo's doing now. Remember, but he was 160, but he was going up to like 168, 175, and people paled and applauded him when he was fighting ugly fights.
Yo, Frank,
you
read. Yeah. I was about to mention Bernard Hopkins. I was about to mention that also he changed his style a little bit as he got older. Now remember, when he beat Trinidad, he was already 36 years old. So I mean, then he was in his like 40 years old, and he had to change his style because he was getting older. And you're right, he was being praised for fighting dirty and boring as fuck, right? Because he's so old, so we gotta understand that that's the way he has to fight. Canelo could change his style. I'm not saying he has to fight in a boring ass, dirty ass way as Hopkins did, but he could maybe stop trying to knock out his opponents that early, and then get tired. Set up his punches more better. Not telegraph everything. He's not Mike Tyson. He's getting old, but I think he's still very dangerous, obviously, and I think he can actually stop these guys if he applies a proper boxing style.
Well, I'm going to be a Canelo, I guess, slurper. I'm going to get accused of this. Is that, look, the style is technically beautiful, though. I mean, you have to appreciate that his actual boxing acumen style with the feints, the high guard walking in on guys. When you watch Nui, what happened to Nui when he was trying to get Neri out of there? He got dropped.
Yeah,
he got reckless.
Yeah.
That's boxing, brother. Who else is Tank Davis? He's not active when he's walking guys down. He's not throwing punches. So Canelo's style still aesthetically pleasing if you think about it.
He won every round.
Technique.
It is efficient, effective. He did win, in my opinion, every round against Berlanga, but it's still Berlanga. Now, if he fights Benavidez, and I'm sure he's gonna change his approach. He's gonna be a different style. He's not gonna fight the same way. I think he's getting
against
lazy.
Benavidez.
I think he's getting lazy. I think he's getting lazy.
I
It's
think
probably
it's,
gonna be
well,
similar
it's
to how he
different.
fought Go
He's
ahead,
not
Corey.
gonna. Oh, my bad. No, you go ahead, Quentin. You haven't talked yet.
I'll say he's probably going to fight him similar to how he fought Munguia, to where he wasn't necessarily walking down Munguia. He was like circling the ring. You saw him back up and pivot to avoid those big right hand shots from Munguia. I mean, when you look at Canelo, when he goes up in different weight classes, his style is slightly different. 154 is when he was the combination guy. He's showing off his hand speed and power. It goes up to 160, he became more of a counter puncher, but throw combinations here and there. 168, he's completely, a sledgehammer shot, as BDA likes to say. I think that, at this weight class, that's what the style that he has to fight at, because he just can't do what he was able to do at the lower weight classes, because he does have more muscle mass on him now.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
The style's changed too. He's moving forward. His volume level, like his punch output's way lower. I think in the Benavidez fight, though, he's not got to worry about moving forward as much. I think Benavidez would bring the fight to him. So then you might see his punch output go up because he doesn't have to worry about cutting the ring off as much.
Well, one thing I see, I think Canelo, he could be prepping himself for someone like Benavidez, dude, letting someone like Berlanga come in around 193, close to 200. So he could be trying to prep himself for a fight like that with someone that heavy, someone that size,
Interesting point. I mean, yeah, Berlanga did look very heavy, and there's rumors that he weighed in. Sorry, he came in at 190, around that shit. So that's pretty fucking heavy. So Canelo might be preparing for a Benavidez fight. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good observation, actually. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, because Munguia looked heavy as hell, and so did Berlanga.
You cut out.
I was talking about Berlanga also looked heavy as hell when one of the heaviest he's been in the ring with.
Yeah. By the way, my connection's fucking up too, I think. It drops up and down. Anyways, guys, if the stream lags or something, just refresh. All right.
And speaking of weight classes, like when you go up weight classes, your style changes, or you don't just have the same attributes over the other opponents more. Look at Benavidez and Morel; they moved up one weight class. Punching power doesn't affect guys the same way. They have to be more creative when it comes to setting up combinations. They also have to change up their style now that they're fighting guys closer to their natural size.
Yeah, I think the biggest part is probably the power because, like, the hand speed, I thought he looked pretty quick still. He still had that. He probably will still have that advantage over guys in that weight class. But as you said, the power will be the one thing. I don't think that's going to transfer up like he thought.
I mean, he did drop Berlanga.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was talking about Benavidez going to 175.
Oh, no, the power's not there. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I remember Vosdy getting stopped by Beterbiev, and I know Beterbiev is a beast. But against Benavidez, I never saw Vosdik in any type of trouble. And he was getting hit. He was getting tagged early. And the commentators were going crazy. Like, oh, wow, look at these shots. Look at this. Listen to the sound these shots are making. But that went on for 12 rounds. And the guy was still there. Vosdik was there. He never looked like he was in trouble. I'm very concerned. If I'm Benavidez, sorry, just go. I'm concerned, man, because my power is not there. Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't look like that his stamina is what he was at 168 either, because after 6 rounds, he had to take like 4 rounds off, not doing anything, laying on the ropes and punch to the body. So, I mean, it just shows you like weight classes there, not only because if you're a smaller opponent, but it takes stuff away from you when you move up in weight. You're not going to be able to do the same things as you do at the lower weight classes. And Benavidez looks like he's not that cardio type guy at 175 that he was at 168.
Yeah, you're lugging around the extra weight. He'd be smart to like try to keep his weight down, but he's not going to do that because those weight cuts are probably just hard as hell on him.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. He should, but he might not be able to, or might not have the will to do it. And he didn't. To me, he didn't look like a light heavyweight. He's tall, but he's not thick. He doesn't have broad shoulders. Right? He doesn't look like a light heavyweight. Vosdik looked like a light heavyweight. This guy didn't.
Yeah, David's a one-trick pony. He has one mode, Frankenstein, come forward, high guard, and I'm going to try to overwhelm you. If that doesn't work, can he get on the back foot and box? Is he willing to exchange? Because that Gvozdyk, it looked like a sparring match. I mean, it was a sparring match. It was a glorified sparring match. There was no intrigue. There was no sense of danger. But it didn't look like Gvozdyk even wanted to let his hands go, or like he wasn't willing to.
It looked like he was pulling punches to me at times.
Yeah, it did.
I said the same thing, bro. It looked like he was pulling his punches except to the body, and he ends up breaking his ribs.
You're right.
Yeah, his dad said later on that his ribs were broken on top of his broken hands.
Do you think so, man?
But sober,
yeah, exactly.
sober.
It's like, come on.
I'm gonna say, but sobers, he can go toe to toe with Beterbiev, right?
That'd be a mistake, man.
When he was 13, he was going toe to toe with Triple G.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Looking at this fight, at Gvozdyk fight, can he actually stand toe to toe with Beterbiev based on what you saw against Gvozdyk? I don't think so.
No.
Well, I mean that's when we talk about pound for pound, that's exactly what we're talking about. Is when your physical attributes are taken away or those advantages, how do you perform against bigger fighters that have the physical advantages over you?
Exactly, and this is that's why I rank Canelo high in my pound for pound list, because of the size disadvantage that he has at light heavyweight. You know, you can criticize at super middleweight. You can criticize the guys that Canelo has defeated at super middleweight. Sure, they're not the greatest, they're not Hall of Famers, but they were champions, and they were much bigger than Canelo. So that's why I give Canelo credit. And then he also even fought a guy like Bivol, who's a light heavyweight, and he performed the way he performed. He lost the fight, but it was a competitive fight. And there were moments where, he had Bivol hesitant to throw punches because he's afraid of getting countered. That's how good Canelo is. So yeah, you're right, Frank. I mean, we got to take that into consideration, that the size disadvantages. And when a small boxer loses those advantages that he has fighting guys his own size, and he still performs at a high level, then that guy is a pound for pounder.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm no historian. I'll let you go, Quinn. Let me just say, no, I'm no historian. I don't claim to be. But Sugar Ray beat a guy named Danny Lalonde for his title,
Right.
and there was some catches there. And that guy was nowhere near. Come on, he was not in the same class as Sugar Ray.
No.
And Tommy Hearns, wasn't he getting knocked out once he went up? And he didn't have those amazing physical advantages because he was a freak of nature at that weight class. But as he went up, he didn't have those advantages.
But he ended up getting the title as he moved up in weight as well. It was kind of
he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. But I mean, his Kyler stopped him. But the point is that, though, I mean, Canelo is fighting. He's not fighting Hall of Famers, but he's still beating these guys, and he's smaller. That's why I also rank Pacquiao as one of the greatest. Obviously, he did much more than Canelo's. That he moved up 8 weight divisions and fought bigger guys as well. So that has to be taken into consideration. But
Pacquiao. Yeah, Pacquiao went through a stretch of not getting a knockout for a while either, but he was still beating guys up.
Oh, right. Yeah, and he was getting credit.
Yep.
So I don't understand. All of a sudden, Canelo has to always knock out his opponents. I mean, I wanted him to stop Berlanga, but just because he didn't stop him, I'm not going to say all of a sudden, there's no way he beats Benavidez. I mean, I still think he beats Benavidez. I actually think he might even stop him, to be honest. He's different styles. But yeah, there's this expectations, again, for Canelo to stop everybody.
I look at Stephen Fulton on the undercard of Canelo Berlanga. He moved up 1 weight class, and he already looks like a totally different dude. He's getting beat up by not a contender, but a journeyman that was sitting there to make him look good.
All right.
So just goes to show who are the real pound for pound guys. They move up 1 weight class. They don't have the physical advantages anymore. Then you see that they don't have the skills either.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all hype jobs.
Well, also your style has to change. Like I said, Inui's he's a kamikaze? Is that a trope, Bucho? But
yeah.
He has to he once he got dropped by Neri, you seen that look like, oh shit, I can't fuck around like I did.
Right.
He realizes, hey, I can't be doing those jumping in willy nilly, all crazy. It's not going to work as I move up. I got to get more cautious and work on a few things.
Well, it's just like you pay more dearly for it because those guys have a little bit more power. So when you jump in like that and they counter you, you don't really have your balance quite yet when you hop in like that. So when somebody's going to catch you with the shot, you can get knocked over. And that's more of like a flash knockdown. It didn't look like he really got hit like terribly hard, but you got hit square, and it knocked him off his feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, flash knockdown.
But yeah, I agree with you, though. I think he's definitely like when he did that, he immediately in his head, he's probably like, "Oh fuck, you're getting a little too cute. Let's get this guy the fuck out of here. We didn't come." I mean, at the end of the day, I know he's there to entertain, but the real job is to win.
Yep. At the end of the day, that's what matters. So okay, so we're talking about Canelo and pound for pounders. How they have to how it makes a big difference when you move up in weight. Canelo has been moving up in weight. He's been successful, except at light heavyweight. And when it comes to Benavidez, he moved up in weight and he looked average. That's a fact. We can come up. We can tell me all the excuses you want, but he did look average. That's why he hasn't decided yet where he's gonna be campaigning. Right? Or am I wrong? Has he decided what he's gonna do?
I think he needs to go all in there. Do you think he can make 168 again? He doesn't look very healthy anymore there. He looks skinny as shit. I don't know. And if he does, how long can he do it for? Going to 175. If he was going to do that, he should never went to 175.
I know he'll probably get Memo Heredia back in there.
I mean, he should. I mean, because it makes sense. He has to stay at 168. I think we all agree. Right now, why would you want to move to 168? You could barely. He did defeat Usyk. He was a win, clear win. Body wasn't impressive, and I didn't see a fucking monster in there. All right.
I think I know that a little unpopular, but I think if I was him, I'd stay at 175, and I would go after some lower tier guys and just keep busy until guys like Beterbiev get out of the division. I think they're probably rolling that around because he's not going to be there too much longer either. A lot of these guys are going to be gone.
I mean, how long could he avoid the lineal light heavyweight champion? I mean, he's already getting criticized.
Probably 2 years.
How old is the guy?
27,
he's 28, 29.
About to say late 20s. Yeah.
I thought he should be. I mean, he's already getting criticized for his thin resume. So another 2 years of just fighting contenders. Come on.
Yeah, but if he fights Beterbiev, though, that's going to kill the brand. He's going to lose that
exactly.
fight. So it's better to. Yeah,
that's just people are calling this guy the monster, but then they have to be very careful who they match him up against.
Right, because there's other monsters. He might have been a monster at 168, but 175 is obviously an entirely different animal.
In the chat, Rigman Thomas, he says Benavidez chose the 175 Mando over 168 after Canelo picked Berlanga. Okay, so he's gonna stay at 175, and he's gonna be the mandatory for, I guess, whoever unifies the division. Well, hopefully. I mean, I don't care. I mean, if he wants to stay at 165, then fight the champion. I mean, if he's that good, then I guess he deserves to fight the champion at 175. Who should
that would make
fight?
him.
Yeah.
Well, I know that they're trying to line up Jesse Hart as a stay busy fight, but he's got the WBC. I'm not sure what they call it. I'm not sure if it's silver or continental, whatever the fuck WBC and all these belt organizations have all these.
They got plenty of them. Yeah, no, they'll make one for him.
Yeah, he's the number one contender for Beterbiev, whoever wins that fight. So we'll see what he does after that fight if he actually asks for his mandatory title shot because he didn't do it against Canelo, but he's going to do it against Beterbiev.
They shouldn't. I mean, if I was managing him, I'd keep him as far away from both of them as possible. I'd put him in. Jesse Hart sounds fine.
But isn't that a legacy fight for him, obviously?
Yeah. Yeah, but he's not ready to do that. I'm not really on board with how good he is like everybody else is. I think there's a lot of I think Beterbiev and Bivol both would take advantage of him, and he just kind of kill his brand.
Yeah. I mean, if he has I guess he does have a brand, and he has some fangirls. We have a super chat here. Super chat from Greg Terrible. Thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate it. He says, "This is the first time I saw Canelo get cerebral and set up traps." All right. You have to consider Eddie Reynoso is still a young coach. Like Eddie is still learning. That is true. That is true. Eddie Reynoso he's a young trainer. Uh, but still, I mean, it's the second time he fights like this. We saw it against Ryder. We saw it somewhat against Mundia. Actually, it's the third time. I don't know. Maybe there's a lack of motivation for Canelo. Maybe he's just much better than these opponents that he doesn't give a fuck. He tries to knock them out. Then it doesn't work out. Then he gets tired. And this is the result. He's still better than these guys, obviously. He's outboxing them. But
well, if there's a lack of motivation, it's his fault. It's like he's the one's picking these fucking fights.
Yeah, maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe that's the wrong. Well, exactly. He's the one choosing this. Maybe he thinks it's easier than what he expects. He thinks that by doing what he does in the first part of the fight is gonna be enough to stop the opponent, and then it doesn't happen, and then he starts getting a little tired, and then he starts getting a little, he starts getting hit a little bit. People start freaking out that he's done. It's over. But again, if he fights David Benavidez, it's not going to be anything similar to what we've seen Canelo fight lately. Like, it's going to be a completely different style.
How much money did he make for this fight with Berlanga?
Good question. I have no idea. I don't look at this shit. The purses and all that.
Probably seems like he's doing like what Floyd did towards the end of his career, just kind of lining up
some people have
average fights and just clean it up while he still has his physicality left.
I mean, he has said he's a businessman, and there was an interview done in English. He was talking about some of the investment that he has made. He was talking. He owns a gas company or something like that, like a gas station company. So there's gas stations named Canelo. That's crazy. So, I mean, this guy, he knows where to invest, or he's investing. So, of course, maybe he's trying to get as much money as he can out of boxing before he moves on to his business ventures.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know what his quote is, but if he got paid $30 million to fight that guy, then why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly.
If you can really swing it. I mean, I'm not saying the fans wanted to see it, but from a business aspect, if somebody was showing you that, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Oh, I heard that the fight sold 600,000 pay-per-views.
I think somebody told me that too. That's pretty good, considering.
If that's true, I don't know. If that's true,
plus a $17 million.
Yeah,
plus a $17 million gate. So that's about like what, $82 million that the fight grossed.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good, dude. Like, I would, if you were to ask me like how much it would have done, I probably would have told you around like 350 to maybe 4 at its best. And it did really well.
All right. Other people now, some rando saying that he heard he did over 700,000. I don't know. Right?
Wow.
It's possible. Now, if that's true, then. Now I wonder why did this fight do so well? If it's true.
Probably because of the natural rivalry and all that.
Yeah, it's possible, but still, I mean, he was a guy that nobody really knew.
Well, it wasn't Berlanga's technical prowess, right? Nobody was really like championing this guy as like being a good boxer or anything. So what could it be? They just made they just sold it as Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and it's going to be a street fight.
I wonder how many fights Canelo can. How many fights like this can he still have and still make a huge profit?
Well, I think with the right people, he could probably, like, Munguia was kind of a similar guy, even though he's, they're both Mexican, but the draw ability's similar. I think it depends who it is. Like, you can't do that with who would be a good, like, John Ryder or whoever the hell he fought. I forget these guys' names now. But he can't continue to do stuff like that on that profile because that guy doesn't sell anything.
Right. And I'm thinking, obviously, everybody wants Canelo to fight Benavidez, but other than Benavidez, who else is there? People are saying Morel.
I'm kind of curious how much he sells. I know he doesn't do too much pay-per-view, but I'd like to see his syndication numbers. How many people tune in to watch him fight?
Who's saying Morel? How did he look in his last fight for that?
Yeah, just say Morel and Billy as well. And Billy.
That's what I was thinking about, Morel.
Yeah, but then Billy didn't look too hot his last fight either. But that didn't take too long before Tim Bradley started throwing his name out there.
Yeah.
He was like, "Whoo, Canelo, better stay away from him, Billy." No, I tell you.
Oh,
like as a boxer, like I had a decent amount of respect for Tim Bradley, but as an announcer, holy shit!
I don't know. It seems like he's turning into some LDBC guy. Just my opinion. He's
definitely definitely reading the teleprompter. You know, they're like, "Say this." He's like, "All right."
No, it's going deeper than that. I don't know. I have to keep on doing some research on this. But
you think he's you think he's racially motivated?
I don't know. I'm not. Maybe.
Nah, it's a CTE brain that he has that's making him make these outlandish remarks.
The what?
CTE brain.
Ah.
I would believe that. I would believe that more than some maybe like just I don't know, maybe some of the other claims. If you watch the Prabovnikov fight, like if you told me he has CTE, I might believe you. He took a beating in that fight.
Yeah, it's possible, man. He has Tourette's. Woo! He was like, "Woo!" TBS in the chat says some random Morel. He says Morel dominated his last fight, so that's a fight he wants to see. I mean, I guess, but he's gonna sell out. I'm talking about big fights here. Like, and Billy Canelo is not a big fight. Morel, not a big fight.
No.
But then again, I didn't think Berlanga was a big
fighter. There just isn't another fighter as famous as Canelo. There's a star.
There's not a lot of dangerous guys to match him up with either. I mean, at that weight, the best guy, I think, danger-wise, if you can't get Benavidez, would probably be Janibek, because I think he's moving up. But that might even be a little too soon. He's not built up. Nobody knows who the fuck he is, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to talk about someone with an even lower profile than Morel and Benavidez, that'll be Janibek.
Right, but he'd be more dangerous than both of them.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, he's even more... I mean, he hasn't even been tested either, honestly.
I'm just looking at the skills wise. I think he has more weapons than he reminds me of kind of like Vasily Jirov a little bit.
Vasily Jirov, yeah. Maybe he fought Jim Stoney. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of volume, but he kind of I don't know. I think he's going to be a good. I think he's going to be a good fighter. He's going to be one of the guys that are going to be holding belts in the next couple of years.
Yep. Yeah, it's possible. But right now, what is there for Canelo? And there's nothing. I mean, you know what? A big fight would be if he fights the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. I don't think he can win those fights, but that's something that's interesting. No, people would tune in to watch that. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And the Benavidez
but that would be...
Yeah.
You can't put him in with the Beterbiev fight. Well, I mean, you could, but it's not going to end well for him.
No, exactly.
He might be able
to... Yeah, but it's something that you would watch, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'd watch it, but I don't know. I don't think the Mexican fans would be too happy with that fight.
Oh,
That's
no,
be bad.
Trust me, we're going to love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting for as long as it lasts before Beterbiev eventually stops him, because that's the only guy that I ever see being able to crack that iron chin.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody say it a week ago, like Canelo wants Bivol to win this fight. I think I see that. He'd probably prefer to have that not only have the rematch, but stylistically, that's a better matchup for him.
And Bivol probably is going to win that fight. I mean, Beterbiev's 40 years old. I got Bivol winning that fight.
Yeah, I think I have Beterbiev stopping him around. I think I'm taking the 12th round. I think it'll be kind of like it'll be really late, 12 or 11 actually. But I don't think he's that shot yet. But we'll see. I'm actually excited for that fight, even though it's like well over. It's been not well over marinated, but with the injuries and shit like that, we should have had this fight years ago.
No,
yeah,
no, people
exactly.
aged them all, bro. Don't spare him, bro. He aged them out. Andy knocked his bitch out, dude.
Yeah, to throw that in
that's
there,
gonna be the story, right? If Bivol wins, it's because Beterbiev was way past his prime. So now if Beterbiev knocks out Bivol, yeah, everybody's gonna forget about how old he is, and I think a Canelo fight would be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it'll be for undisputed at light heavyweight. That's something Canelo would definitely try for.
He would.
It'd be a great fight. It'd be a great fight stylistically because you bring the fight to Canelo. I just don't think Canelo has the defensive. I mean, he's good defensively, but I don't know if he's going to be able to put up with that kind of pressure for that long. That's going to wear his ass out.
Right.
It's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be like the punching power. I mean, the dude hits like a heavyweight at light heavyweight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is Canelo's 5th weight class. He's won titles in 4 weight classes, but he's competed in 5. I mean, eventually, you can train your body to be as durable as possible with naturally bigger guys, especially a guy who hits harder than his own weight class. Yeah, eventually he's just gonna break you down.
Yeah.
Now, this has been his plan for the last 2 years, though. Ever since he took on Bivol, was to get that belt, that one belt, and then unify with Beterbiev. Because he wants to be 2-time undisputed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no, we.
That would be perfect. Yeah, if he fights the winner of Shishkin versus Skull, then he's another champion on his resume.
Yeah, or he could go up there and and try his luck and get his ass beat up.
Guys, that would be way more impressive. Go ahead.
No, just remind people to please hit the like button. That really helps the show. Hit the like. And if you want to join the Discord discussion, the link is in the description of the video and in the chat. Sorry, Quentin, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Canelo did beat like Bivol or Beterbiev, whoever wins that fight and they're undisputed, if he beat one of those guys going undisputed, wouldn't that be like the hardest way to go undisputed out of any of the other undisputed champions?
It's extremely difficult. Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. Everybody always compares they compare Canelo to Floyd Mayweather, right? Because they were both the money makers, the face of boxing, all this bullshit. If Beterbiev beats Bivol by knockout, and Canelo moves up in weight and fights Bivol, how much credit do you give Canelo? How much stock does his no, that's the wrong word. How much credit do you give Canelo, legacy-wise, for fighting a guy like... I
didn't understand what...
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't understand what you said. Did you say if Beterbiev knocks out Bivol and then Canelo goes up and fights Bivol?
No, sorry, I fucked it up. And fights Beterbiev. How much
credit? Yeah, of course, you give him a lot of credit. Big time.
He's docking David Benavidez.
Yeah, they're gonna keep exactly.
Wouldn't he arguably be the greatest Mexican of all time?
David?
Win or lose?
That'd be funny as shit though if he did go up and fight him, and you had people come and he's ducking David. You're like, oh shit.
And I'm gonna have to say this. I'm gonna have to ask this because and people are gonna claim that you hate Floyd. You have to bring Floyd all the time, but it's not me. It's people who love Canelo and love Floyd. They always compare both of them, right? So, would Floyd have ever fought a guy like Beterbiev?
No. What are you talking about? He wouldn't even fight Paul Williams. That
would have been like Mayweather fighting Golovkin when everyone thought he was on his farewell tour.
You guys do realize he kept that 154 pound division held hostage for like 2 years. He didn't fight anybody once he got those titles.
He didn't want to fight Margarito, bro.
He didn't want to fight Margarito. He didn't do fucking shit.
He retired.
Well, I mean, look, man, a lot of those questions aren't really fair. It wasn't fair to ask Floyd to fight Triple G, but just from the fans, we want to see it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, it's fair to ask.
People
We're not
saying I'm
talking
tripping.
about Triple G though. We're
People saying, question. And people, and Alan in the chat says I'm tripping. Look, okay, hold on. Another question. Is Canelo fighting Beterbiev comparable to what would have been Floyd versus Triple G?
Yes.
No.
Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah.
What?
I'd
Okay,
say
saying
yes.
yes or
Say
no?
yes.
I'd
I'd
say
have to say
yes.
yes. I mean, dude, his record is impeccable, right? He's undefeated. Isn't he the 100% knockout ratio?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
just
yeah.
about on that 23 knockout streak.
That's impeccable.
He's
I
the
mean, they
most
give
dangerous guy in boxing. Easily.
Ward is a Hall of Famer for beating Kovalev. So how
Yeah.
is that not any less, if not more? We're talking about a man with 70 fights. This man has 70 fights, dude. I mean, he's already 34. I had mentioned this before. What do you guys think about this? Look at, I think Roy Jones, he faded at 34. What did Tyson make it to, like
Right.
26?
You're right.
Earl
Well,
Spence is
Tyson's
already
a little
washed.
different.
No,
Tyson
well, he
spent
went
his
to jail.
prime in jail.
Yeah. But you're right.
Well,
No, but
nevertheless,
yeah, 30,
go ahead.
32, 30. When he fought
Even the
after jail, he was
Go
well
ahead.
done. No, Tyson
I
after he
think
came out
even
of jail, he wasn't the same.
the
No.
great Trinidad was done by when was he done by 33? I
30.
think Trinidad had reached
After
30. He was
Hopkins,
done by
after
30.
Hopkins, he retired. He had one fight.
I love
after,
Trinidad, man.
Yeah.
He's one of my ATGs, but he was finished by. I mean, longevity has to be accounted for. I mean, Earl Spence, all these Chartles, they're done by 32. They're cooked.
But
Danny Garcia, I think,
that's
is younger than
normal
Canelo, and he's baked. He's done.
because everybody's
Trinidad had some hard fights though, and he went up in weight classes that he shouldn't have been at 160. I'm not saying he didn't, like physically he wasn't really a big guy for that weight class, but he went up there anyway to make money, and do that kind of thing.
But
That
he's an
takes a lot
all-time
out of
great.
you.
But he's an all-time great
Yep.
because of some. Well, that counts. When
Yeah,
it
I'm
comes
not
to-
dogging him. I love Trinidad.
Right. But Floyd, I don't know, man. He docked guys in the welterweight division, and it's not like Floyd was a midget at a welterweight. He was a decent welterweight. He was like a natural welterweight, in my opinion. So why couldn't he stay at 154? I mean, when he fought Miguel Cotto, I think that it was at a catchweight. Not catchweight, but it was 150. He wasn't 154. Full 154. So
I know Canelo was 52.
yeah, that
I
was
thought
52. No, actually, maybe Cotto was 154, but the Canelo 152. And he didn't fight.
he didn't have to worry about
Paul
he didn't have to
Williams.
worry about Cotto's size. You know what I mean? Canelo is a little bit different. You know what I mean? That's why he drained Canelo, because he's like, I don't want this kid coming in healthy. He's a little bit bigger than me. Versus Cotto's, he's dense, but he's not. I don't know. He's not nearly as big as Canelo is. I think he was more willing to fight Cotto at the stipulated weight. I guess.
You know what's crazy about these conversations is that the actual writers, the people that vote these guys in the Hall of Fame, it doesn't seem they really care about those type of catchweight things. It doesn't seem like they even take those type of things into consideration. Oh, he fought this guy at this weight. But they don't. They hail these guys. They just say they look at what he did and the accomplishment, and they kind of gloss over a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they should though, because like you're one way or another at the catch weight. One guy's coming up, the other guy's coming down. You're not fighting. Neither guy's really fighting at their peak performance technically. So there's an asterisk over like whoever loses it technically to it. Not a lot, but just a little bit. I'm not saying they didn't agree to the fight, but that's obviously not the optimal weight for the fight to be had at, because both guys don't fight at that weight.
Right. By the way, what was Floyd's biggest win at 147?
Probably Pacquiao.
Okay. Anybody?
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't fight Cotto at 147. I thought Cotto was
Oscar
154.
probably.
No,
To his
no,
career, probably Oscar, because he wouldn't have anything.
At 140, at 147.
Carlos Valdemir. That was the best.
I mean, that was for
the
lineal welterweight champion. That was
it
for
was,
the lineal.
It was Carlos Valdemir.
Yep.
Okay, and somebody said Pacquiao, but I mean, past his prime, both of them were past their prime, but that doesn't really
His
count
best
then.
performance was probably like Ricky Hatton, even though he was dirty as shit in that fight.
Yeah, and Hatton wasn't really a welterweight. He was never a welterweight. He was a junior
Nope.
welterweight champion. He fought Collazo, right, at 147, and he looked terrible in that fight. He looked
Damn, you're
small.
right. You're right.
He looked terrible in that
Yep.
fight. You could see that he wasn't a welterweight. The power wasn't there. He dropped, I think, Collazo early, but then he just looked like a midget in there. And then Floyd fought him, right? So to me, that win is a good win, but it's not a, he was a guy moving up in weight who was 5'5". So
That was just the best he's looked, I guess, is my point. Especially later in his career.
He looked great in that fight. I mean, he weathered the storm, and then he stopped Ricky Hatton, who got tired. Canelo versus Golovkin, to me, that's a historic win. You can say, oh, he didn't really beat him. I think he lost the first fight. I think he won the second one. The third one, to me, doesn't really count because Golovkin was old and all that shit. But the second fight, I don't think Floyd had a win like that. I don't think Floyd had a win like that Golovkin win.
I think Castillo was that win. I mean, we say he lost, but Castillo put the beats on Floyd, and Floyd did fight back.
And Chico,
the Oscar fight was close too.
Yeah, but even then, I think the other 36. The other was 36 and coked up. That is the fact.
But Floyd didn't really do too much to that coked up like old man.
Exactly.
So I mean, what does that mean?
What does that tell you? Chico Corrales, forgot about that fight. That was a great fight. Both guys were young and already demonstrating that they were extremely talented. And Floyd won that fight. And I remember a lot of people were picking Corrales. And then the Castillo fight, of course, underrated because Castillo, he's just some guy with a bunch of losses. But he's also a very good boxer.
Well, an underrated win I thought was shaping up to be a great fight was Zab Judah and Floyd. Zab was putting the beats on Floyd. I think dropped him. And then that fiasco happened, and then Zab kind of quit. And we don't see that anymore, right? Two young FBAs. Well, Zab was coming off a loss, but nevertheless, they still fight. I don't think we see that fight in today's era, but Zab was probably just as fast and quick.
He's faster.
On Floyd.
No. Floyd has a lot of... But what I'm going with this, I think, is Floyd, I think he has more big wins than Canelo, and just because the weight divisions were stacked where Floyd was stacked with boxers.
He has better marquee wins because of the marquee, era. Yeah. Boxing was much bigger back then than it is now. So if you want to make the point that way, of course.
Yes. But I still don't think Floyd has had a win like the win that Canelo had against Golovkin, because Golovkin was knocking almost everybody out, except Jacob. But he was the man of the 160. Yeah,
I mean, let's take the third fight out. Like we can put that in the time capsule, but just the brutality of the first two fights. When you watch it, it was just ugly. It was brutal. You could hear the thud. Take your boxing science mind out of it, and just from a savage standpoint, man, that takes lifetimes out of you. I don't think Triple G was ever the same after that.
And there was no clinching in that fight. You would see in a Mayweather fight. Mm-hmm. You get hit by one big shot, or to avoid something, you hit him with something big, and then all of a sudden he's clinching. Now there was no clinching in those Canelo Golovkin fights. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. And we're comparing Floyd and Canelo, and somebody in the chat, Omar Gonzalez, says, "Bud Crawford has a weak resume." I wouldn't even. That's the thing. That's why I don't understand these people that place Crawford above Canelo. Just because Canelo lost to Bivol, all of a sudden,
my casual mind, Bucha, my casual mind and take. I'm sorry, let me just finish this and go ahead. My casual on the resume thing, a resume, smesume, to me, it's about memorable fights. Like when I think of a fighter, I go, oh, I remember that fight. Then I don't have that with Bud Crawford. I can't name you one fight that I go back and watch. When I look at even Zab Judah's, Costa Zeus.
You don't look at Spence. You don't look at the Spence fight. You forgot about that.
I watched it for laughs.
That's his best showcase, and it was
it showed how good
he is. That was
compromised. It showed how good he is. He destroyed. It was supposed to be a 50-50 fight, and he wasn't. So that shows how great he is. No.
I don't know.
There's only one fight I remember of Crawford, and it wasn't in a positive way.
Oh, the Postal.
You remember the Postal fight? Yeah.
I'm about to just talk about
Terrible.
that. That was like one of the better boxers. If you really watch that fight, Postal was actually really confusing him. Crawford couldn't get his jab off. Like in the first like 5 rounds, Postal was beating him like to the punch and all that shit. He was all over him. Then Crawford starts doing all his wrestling shit and all that, and he starts. I give him credit. He starts taking the fight over, but not in a legal way. He just starts bending the rules, and it turns it into a street fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no cap. Just real quick, my dad bought the fight thinking Bud was the next fraud, and he was like, "Man, don't ever show me that fucking guy again." And got a refund.
I bought the fight too, dude. me and your dad were part of like the 35 to 40,000 people that bought that shit. Ridiculous.
It was
That pay-per-view too.
his first pay-per-view. His first pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and then
I
he's
bought it.
complaining.
Yeah, got
And then he's
bro.
complaining to Bob Arum that Bob Arum is a fucking racist. And he's not giving him the fights. Like, what? That's a performance you had, man. A boring ass performance. You don't deserve to be on pay-per-view. And then, obviously he moved up in weight. He was with Top Rank. That was his decision. So he couldn't get those PBC fights. So his career went the way it went.
No, Bucho, I heard you say Floyd never had a win like Canelo had over Triple G. I think you're forgetting one fight and one win. You remember when Floyd fought a unified champion, a dominant unified champion, one of the biggest stars in the sport of boxing,
I think you know where you're going.
and Floyd boxed his fucking ears off. Floyd boxed his ears off. Oh, what was that fight?
Hey,
Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, hey, Mirage.
Floyd beat Canelo Alvarez is better than any win that Canelo has in his whole career.
All right, I get the point. Now you answer my
He was
question.
a kid.
How many? Well,
That's
you already,
real talk, man. Real talk.
All right, Mirage, calm down. Let me ask you a question. How old was Canelo? And 2 questions. How old was Canelo, and how many title defenses did he have?
Canelo was 23, Floyd was 36, and Canelo had about 6 or 7 title defenses. An experienced champion.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Canelo
I don't
was.
even think he was 6 title defense. I don't even think he was 6 title defense. And against who?
I'll tell you what, Canelo, let me talk, let me cook. You've been fanboying enough. Now we're time for serious.
Go ahead.
Canelo started as a 16-year-old. So as a 23-year-old, he was
15.
a very mature, prime, physically in his prime, world champion. Floyd dominated the best version of
Mirage.
Alvarez
Mirage, who was he fighting at 16? Who was he fighting at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Who was he fighting?
That's not the point, Bucho.
No, but it is the point. I'm making it the point.
But your point's
I'm making it the point. You don't want to answer because you know the answer. So it doesn't matter.
When have you ever heard anybody with 43 fights being called inexperienced? In the history of boxing, give me another name. A fighter with 43 pro fights.
Listen,
that's
I can fight.
Go.
Yeah, you have experience. Well, what kind of experience? See, that's the difference. This is what you don't understand. I mean, if somebody fights 50 tomato cans and another guy fights 20 guys that are, elite boxers with pedigree and all that shit, it makes a huge difference. They both have experience, but one has experience that actually matters. All right.
Okay.
And remember, Mayweather had a huge amateur career, went to the Olympics and everything. So he had hundreds of amateur fights. So it's not the same experience. One guy had 18 amateur fights and was learning on the job. Come on, Mirage, stop with the bullshit.
Carlos Boldemir, Love Monadou, solid journeyman.
Yeah, Sugar Shane Mosley. We'll put it in there. Throw in Sugar Shane Mosley.
Alfonso Gomez, Kermit Cintron. Hey, even a 40-year-old Mosley, you fight him, that's experience.
I think he retired after that fight. I think he was so old that he retired after that fight. That just tells you how old he was.
Austin Trout.
No, didn't he fight Evan Nugent eventually, or was that somebody else?
Probably, but
and also, he's also leaving out the fight at a catch weight as well. Yeah. So he's also leaving that out.
That was one of Floyd's best wins, and you guys didn't even count it. You guys didn't even mention it. Why is that?
Because of the catch weight.
You didn't even mention it. You were talking about Floyd's best.
Yeah,
wins.
you also didn't mention it was at a catch weight. Was Canelo Golovkin ever at a catch weight?
How much was the catch weight?
Much bigger win. Floyd never took a risk like that.
Well, to be fair, that third fight was pretty much. It wasn't a catch weight, but it was above a weight class.
Yeah, Floyd was 36. You talk about Canelo's weight.
Yeah, he was 36. And who was the number one guy? Mirage, who was ranked number 1 pound for pound? Stop with the bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. You're acting like Floyd was like pinned into a corner or some shit.
He's fighting.
Like this was Bernard Hopkins.
Like he came out of retirement at 36, like some like Rocky, a Rocky movie story or some shit. Nah, he was.
Yeah, and this redhead's bullying me in front of my wife, kind of shit. No, it didn't really go down like that.
Plus, you act like he didn't have a preserving style. Fuck out of here, Mirage.
Doesn't matter. He's 36.
It does matter.
This is like Canelo
that's
fighting
not
David.
A 36-year-old defensive fighter is not the same as a 36-year-old defensive fighter. That shit's not the same.
I mean, that's what Mirage does. He comes in here with these arguments out of context. He thinks he's actually making a compelling
argument. He literally took that shit out of context, dude.
Devastating. I just gave you a devastating argument. I just demolished.
No, you fucking destroyed yourself.
What the fuck?
Devastating. We are all devastated right now.
Dominated.
A 36-year-old Triple G is not the same as a 36-year-old Floyd Jr. Triple G is going to go to more wars.
His style's not even comparable.
Yeah, but he didn't convincingly win.
He don't have a preserving style, dude. Like, fuck out of here.
He didn't convincingly even beat Triple G,
Golovkin had a power, man. Floyd, he had his tricks. You know, he outboxed Canelo. But if you look at Canelo back then, he was making so many mistakes that he doesn't even make now, because he learned from that fight. Golovkin,
I mean, even Andre Ward, when he saw Canelo at the weigh, and he was like, "Goodness gracious!" Chad Dawson didn't even look that bad when I drained his ass down in weight.
Mm-hmm.
How much was Canelo drained? How much was he drained again?
2 pounds.
I disagree about him being drained, to be honest.
No, you know why I don't disagree? Because Canelo was already fighting at 155, or was fighting after at 155. He couldn't make the weight. He couldn't make 154.
Now we're going to do a fact check. I'm pretty sure he weighed.
It's a different discussion.
And I remember.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, JDA?
Yeah, listen, Floyd never took chances like that. Floyd was never an undisputed champion. Someone pointed out earlier, he could have fought Golovkin and challenged himself. He never did. Floyd's the cherry pick king. And there's a reason why he was never undisputed champion. In my eyes, dude, if you're not an undisputed champion, you're not a champion. Yeah, like fucking Mikey Garcia. Oh, I'm a four-weight champion in 4 different divisions. Bro, you fucking cherry picked your championships. You understand? I was kind of mad at Canelo when he did it with Rocky Fielding. You know what I mean? But that's why they got to get rid of all these fucking belts.
That was for a regular title, too.
Kovalev,
that wasn't even for a real belt.
What about Kovalev?
Yeah.
What about Kovalev?
But the thing is honestly, who do you respect more? Someone that moves up in weight and challenges himself, or someone that stays down in weight and just cherry picks? Canelo was more...
And
retires. Challenge himself.
And somebody who retires.
Canelo.
And somebody who retires
Floyd moved up, but he happened to have almost every physical advantage. Yeah. So why did he always have the reach advantage, Mirage? Just about in all his fights when he moved up, he always had the reach advantage. So stop with the bullshit, Mirage.
The reach advantage, the ring advantage.
Whose career do you guys respect more, in all honesty? Canelo's or Floyd's? Out of respect.
You know,
Canelo.
Floyd never ducked like Canelo.
My opinion is Floyd had a lot of big names in his resume. We talked about earlier, but where
he avoided so many fightings.
Exactly. That's where Floyd fucks it up. That 2007 year, when he retired and went to the WWE wrestling bullshit, and he waited out, and he was trying to see how the division played out. You know, he didn't want to fight
and
Paul
he stayed
Williams.
away from He stayed away from Pacquiao, and I'm convinced the only reason why he fought Pacquiao is because Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather were at the same basketball game. Okay, the pitcher went on Pacquiao, the place went crazy. Okay, went crazy. Then it went right to Floyd. People started booing, and this is in his own country, right? Floyd went right up to Pacquiao right after. He says, "Let's make the fight," and the fight happened 6 months later. But it happened 2 years too late.
Yeah.
And Floyd wants to accuse Pacquiao of cheating, and you know what? I think he might have, because The older you get, you don't get faster, you don't get stronger. And he had that secret, like a contract that wasn't supposed to be leaked. Teddy Atlas reported it, saying that if Manny Pacquiao does test for PEDs, that it doesn't go public. Okay? But anyways, besides all that, Floyd was on PEDs too because he took too many those saline bags
IV bag.
The IV bags. Dude, you're only supposed to take like 1 or 2 of them. He took like 10 of them right after the fight with Pacquiao. So don't give me that shit, bro. Your body starts to change at the 36. Okay? So when you're fighting at high levels, I respect Canelo's career way more than Floyd's career. Now, don't get me wrong. Floyd, before he became Money Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a fucking assassin. But he still was never undisputed champion, and he lost the first Castillo fight. That's why Bob Arum gave Castillo the rematch. And he lost the Maidana fight too. Let's not bullshit. You know? And he stayed away from fighters, and he never challenged himself. He could have went up and fought I would have respected him more if he went up and fought Triple G, and he lost. I would have respected him more. You know what I mean?
Laura.
Yeah, that too. But when he there was a lot of talk about him fighting Triple G, and then he backed out. At least Canelo challenges himself. He went up against Bivol. I mean, bro, he's kind of punching out of his weight class. And if Bivol really wanted to go for the knockout, I'm not saying he would have knocked him out, but I think he could have put him down at least once. That time he had against the ropes.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't commit to anything.
I don't know, JD. He threw a bunch of like combinations in there, and he missed that. I think he did try to get him out of it.
But I kind of agree slightly. He doesn't really put too much. He won't expose himself.
He goes in and he goes out. He goes in and he goes out. Like he doesn't stay in and sit on his punches. He doesn't take one to give one. B-Roll. You know what I mean? I think he could beat Beterbiev. But the thing is if Canelo fights either or B-Ball or Beterbiev, the winner of each, and loses, I'll respect Canelo even more because he challenged himself, dude. You know what I mean?
I heard you guys talking about. Hey, bro, you've been talking for half an hour, Jay. Hang on. I heard you guys saying, pondering whether Canelo's going to fight Beterbiev. Dude, he's fighting Eubank Jr. next. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He's fighting
I'm
Eubank
saying
Jr.
if he does.
That's fantasy. That's delusion.
It's fantasy. It's fantasy that he
you're
fought.
living in a fantasy world.
He already fought people, though. He already fought people. He already fought people. So what fantasy land are you fucking living in?
He thought it was an easy fight. It was a
shut the fuck up. He thought it was an easy fight. Shut the fuck up, bro. The guy was a champion, bro. He was undefeated. He was a fucking champion. So shut the fuck up.
So was Rocky Fielding.
Listen, no.
No, he wasn't. He was a regular title holder.
Listen,
Shut up, Mirage.
Listen,
What is a fantasy?
Mirage, you have no credibility
your hero's going to go and fight Beterbiev.
Hey, go on Ring IQ and say, hey, just go, hey, what are you going to do tomorrow? Go on Ring IQ and say the opposite shit you said today on BDA? You got no credibility. You shouldn't even be on the panel. You shouldn't even be on the panel.
You technically shouldn't be on the panel. He's supposed to show the receipt.
This ain't a democracy anymore.
Hey, all I said is Canelo's fighting Eubank Jr. and you guys get emotional, you get upset. It's not my fault.
What do you mean?
No, we get emotional.
You shouldn't even be on here. You're supposed to show that receipt that you never showed.
He negotiated already with Eubank. Don't you guys even follow the news? He already
we follow it, bro. And we follow the fact that Benavidez is a weight bully. He's a fucking heavyweight. He's been ducking B-Ball and Benavidez. He's been ducking. He's been ducking B-Ball. He's been ducking Beterbiev for the last 5 years. So shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's 4 years.
You want to talk about
Did you hear Mike Tyson say, if I was fighting 168, I'd be scared to fight David? Mike Tyson,
Bro, all you do
terrified
is milk
of David
goats. So shut the
Benavidez, man.
fuck up. Who are you? You
Yeah,
ain't
that's
a
why he's
warrior.
fighting Jesse Hart. He's fighting Jesse Hart.
Nobody else wants to get in the ring.
Exactly, Quentin. Instead, we land on Jesse Hart. Right? All that talk.
Or is it David's fault they're all scared to get in the ring?
Benavidez couldn't even knock out Plant. He couldn't even knock out Plant. So shut the fuck up.
You meant Benavidez.
Yeah. Benavidez couldn't even knock out Plant. You fucking idiot.
100
And
times.
Plant is 2 to 3 weight classes below him. So shut the fuck up, bro. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying
You're a Benavidez groupie. You beat off to him every night, and you don't know what you're talking about.
You guys have got 5 months to prepare your excuses when Canelo fights.
But hey, no. Go on, hey, Lomachenko won the fight. Lomachenko won the fight. Now let me go on BDA the next day. Haney won that fight. Haney won that fight. No, you got no credibility.
Yeah,
you got no credibility.
It's a special ability to be able to change and reconsider your opinion.
Shut the fuck up. That's not what you were doing. That's not what you were doing.
All right.
You're a troll.
That's maturity.
You're a goat herder. You milk goats for a living, and you're a troll.
How did we get here? For like 5 years, you never change. You can never reconsider. That's nothing to brag about, man.
Reconsider yourself in what? Less than 24 hours? Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, I'm right.
Listen, I hear some goats in the background. Go milk them.
All right. Well,
are you happy, Bucho?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go eat my ice cream,
excitement.
and I'm gonna. Yeah, well, I gave you some excitement. I just gave you some excitement. Now my chest is hurting. I'm gonna eat some ice cream. Listen to the rest of the show. If someone says something stupid, then I'll get back on the show. All right, Bucho?
Sounds like a good deal. Thank you for that.
Love you guys.
All right.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Mungi is fighting today, right?
Yeah.
He's fighting tonight.
Yep.
Tonight. Hey, special tip, man. Put some money on Bazinian, man. The odds are juicy. Mungi is garbage. I got Bazinian stoppage.
Stoppage on top of that. I mean, okay.
What are you?
I mean, I thought decision, maybe decision.
Like 10 to 1.
Damn.
Like 10 to 1. I mean, 10 to 1 for stoppage, man.
People are laughing at
10 to 1.
Oh my god.
10 to 1. All right, well, that's good odds.
I mean, Bazinian's big. He can punch, and Mungi has
What's
got
his
defense. We all know.
What's the odds for just winning though? What are the odds for just winning? Like 3 to 1?
6 to 1. 6 to 1.
Oh, you should just take that bet, man. You never know.
He's not gonna get a win on scorecards against the A side. He's going to get robbed. There's no way. Very unlikely he'll get the judges on his side.
You're right. I mean, the chat they're already saying another bad prediction from Mirage. Another bad prediction from you.
Oh, he's filled with those. He gets a big one.
You want to win money? Better get Mirage.
Don't put your money.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Fucking Quentin.
We won't see you tomorrow.
Yeah, so what fight from Bazinian did Mirage watch that would make him favor that over Munguia?
Ronald Ellis. He stopped Ronald Ellis.
Oh, wow. Canelo's sparring partner. Wow. The guy that Canelo beats up every day in sparring. Wow. Such a great
Mirage, did you say stop
it?
Did you say...
It's like explaining rocket science to a dunce. You can't. You can't get it. I'm not going to
Mirage, did you say that he's losing by...
Is this rocket science for you?
Yeah, I mean...
By stoppage?
I think he can stop Munguia.
What
you think or not? I mean, what do you think? What's your bet? What's the bet? What are you betting on this fight, Mirage?
I bet for a stoppage. Yeah.
Okay.
But he can definitely beat him on points, but he's going to get robbed, so that doesn't really count. But he can definitely outbox him, and he can stop him. But, so yeah, it's a 50-50 fight. I think 50-50.
No, I think you just. I think you just because Munguia fought Canelo, so now you want to shit on Munguia. That's how it works with you.
I was shitting on Munguia before, man. Not before. Don't worry about that.
Okay, because you know he was gonna fight Canelo.
Yeah, Munguia's a big guy.
But he holds Ronald Ellis in high regard.
Did we talk
He
since
could.
Canelo Berlanga fight? Why didn't Canelo stop Berlanga, man? What happened?
Well,
He's
I mean,
too old.
I'm saying Berlanga looked better than I expected, and Canelo, he's getting lazy.
I think it's the punch output.
He
if
got
you ask
lazy
me.
like 5 years ago, man. I was telling you this already.
Yeah, but do you
Yeah,
think
he's
that
getting
yeah,
lazy.
but here's the difference between you and I. You think that this is the way Canelo's gonna fight Benavidez, and you're wrong, completely wrong.
That's the only way he can fight now.
No, that's
the
not the
only
only.
way he can fight.
Hey,
That's not the
can
only
I
way.
say something real quick? Because the punch output, the punch output thing is bullshit. Like I said, Canelo threw more punches, landed more punches against Munguia than David did against Vosdick. That's just a fact.
Okay,
He
but
threw
I'm
a
not
lot more
talking. I'm
punches.
talking about punch output as he's moved up in weight. That's why I think he's really
No,
not
well,
stopping people right now. He doesn't have
Oh
the.
yeah, but if you pay attention, when he does throw a lot of punches, is with people that make him work. Triple G, Bivol.
It's a lower weight class. It's not a great comparison.
No,
I'm
I'm giving you comparisons with fucking.
It's not a
Bivol
good
that's
comparison
75.
because it's
What
not
you
the same
talking
weight.
about? What is Bivol? Is Bivol a fucking small guy or what?
Well, that's
Is he small?
You're going to my point. That's why his output wasn't terribly high compared to what it was when he was at 154 and 160.
Giving you
he's loading up on punches.
that he's giving you the same output David has in his last fights, but David's a volume puncher, right? Like y'all, that narrative is retarded.
Gvozdyk was moving
The
around
narrative-
very defensive, Gvozdyk.
Bosdick was fucking 38, 39 years old and he was semi-retired, bro. Get the fuck
Yeah,
outta
he
here.
was washed
Get outta
and
here.
gun shy.
Hands, so he was
Get out of here, bro.
He was washed
How
and
is he
gun
also-
shy after Beterbiev stopped him.
But you guys do know Vosdick threw more punches than fucking David did, right?
I'm not surprised.
Gvozdyk would knock out Berlanga. Gvozdyk would knock out Berlanga. He'd probably beat
Yeah,
Canelo
okay.
today as well.
You won't. Yeah, I bet you your fucking Discord life he wouldn't.
Well,
Man,
I'd
listen,
take that bet 100%.
And by the way, Canelo seems the one he's the smaller guy, and these guys are on the back foot. These guys are on the back foot against Canelo, against little
He's a
Canelo.
pussy. Yeah, he's a pussy. That's
So-
why he chose him. Berlanga fought like a pussy.
Yeah. You think?
I just don't think he's a good boxer. Like Canelo's
that's
obviously
what
a
I'm
much
saying.
better
But
boxer. than
but
him.
why? Don't even try to explain. Mirage is already by it, so yeah, he doesn't see
Yeah, I mean,
what we see.
Benavidez-
He doesn't see what we
Benavidez-
see.
yeah,
He doesn't understand boxing. So what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, Benavidez got his ribs broken by a 40-year-old getting off the couch. So I mean, whatever.
That's fake news. Never happened.
He tore. No, it's not fake news. His dad said he twisted his toe, he busted his ankle, cracked a rib, had a. But this is on Un Round Más, not Night Tiro. Go watch his interview. He gave like 6 injuries.
You're
and
talking about
Davis
Mirage who only
Davis
watches the
dominated
big
one of the
fights.
best light heavyweights in the world, even with his injuries.
Please, man. You actually believe this bullshit, Mirage? The excuses on the 6 injuries? You believe that?
It's true. What do you mean?
Well, how do you know if it's true? I mean, you say it's true. I don't know if it's true. I just think it's too many injuries. It's unbelievable. It's not believable.
This was like David Tabucho. Let's consider this. This was David at probably like 50%, and he still dominated one of the best light heavyweights in the world, former WBC world champion.
Stop, bro. That's
50%.
that's the lie.
That's half throttle. That's half throttle, Benavidez.
Can you name me the 3 opponents Vos fought before he fought David?
I don't need 3-0. He won. He dominated.
How old was Vosdick? How old was Vosdick? 37. 38.
Just turned 37. Same age as Triple G. Triple G was 36.
Was out of the ring for like 4 years, right? And then
was he a champion?
but
Triple G? Was he a
Vosdick
champion?
was.
No, he wasn't a champion.
No, he was a champion. He was, and like El Tanque just asked you, who did he fight before Benavidez? Nobody. You're comparing him to Golovkin, who was 36. The lineal, no, I don't think. Well, he was considered the middleweight champion. He was stopping everybody, So it's a complete. You cannot compare Triple G with this fucking guy, who's basically.
Hey,
retired.
Bucho.
Yeah.
Triple G went to Japan to stop Ryoto.
Yeah,
before he fought Canelo the 3rd time.
That's a can.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mirage, come on, man.
Why is that guy a kid?
How old was that dude? Was like 36, 37.
But he was a well-accomplished fighter. Why would he be a can? He was a well-established
He's a
champion.
they're domestic level Japanese fighters.
According
you guys
to
gotta pump them up.
That's according to you.
Compared to like
That's
what
why.
Benavidez fights, like Porky Medina, that
Hey,
guy, holy
and
shit.
and now
You
you're
take a
pumping
shit on
up.
Marana, but you be the kind of guy to
Now,
talk about Porky
now
Medina.
you're
Yeah,
pumping up
Olympic gold.
Benavidez.
Yeah,
Rushing against
Murata.
the world.
Ridiculous.
Murata, Olympic gold medalist Murata, was a
Now
world
you're
champion.
pumping up.
Golovkin unified against him.
Hey,
Now
David
you're
was
pumping
about
up
to
You're
fight
just not. You're not being
Jesse Hart.
logical about your assessment at all.
You're
You make it
pumping up
seem like he
Berlanga.
ever
Do you want to
does.
know the reality with Berlanga?
Nobody's pumping up
Macumbi-
Berlanga. Nobody's pumping.
Hey, Macumbi stops Berlanga. Macumbi would stop Berlanga if they fought.
No,
Oh,
he
get
won't.
the
I'll give you the
Macumbi.
knockout and I'll put
Are you
$100. You
retarded?
got a deposit before the fight.
I'll take
Oh my
those bets
God.
if that ever happens. Even though
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys
Well,
usually
all
don't
right,
pay
cool.
bets.
Hey,
We're
well, at least we,
depositing
hey,
with
guys,
somebody back
guys.
here. I give you the knockout with Edgar. I give
Mirage don't
Macumbi.
pay his
guys.
bets, bro.
He doesn't pay his
Mirage
bets.
don't pay his
Don't
bets.
bet on. Don't bet on this guy.
He still
People
hasn't
don't
showed
pay
the
me.
receipt of buying that Benavidez pay-per-view that he's supposed to show me.
Are you
I
really
mean, the
doubting
funny
you're going
thing
to buy a
is,
Benavidez pay-per-view, Mark? Are you really doubting that? That's the only pay-per-views I buy.
the funny thing is, even Macumbi put down Plant. Benavidez couldn't do that shit.
That wasn't. He pushed him over. That wasn't legit. He pushed him.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, that's because
He knocked
David
out
was injured when he
100%.
fought Plant, bro. He broke both his wrists before the fight.
No, it was the
That
bad
Macumbi's
pizza
a
that
good
Mirage.
fighter, man.
It was the bad
He's a
pizza
good
that Mirage
fighter.
blew it all.
They say Mirage pacing dingo shit.
No, Mirage was the bad pizza, right? That's why Benavidez didn't stop Plant.
What do you think about his next fight, though, Mirage versus Jesse Hart?
We don't know if it's Jesse Hart even.
It is Jesse Hart, bro. It's literally confirmed.
Well, Jesse
Yeah,
Hart.
don't you watch the news?
Well, yeah,
What do
were
you
you
think-
hearing
what
us
do you
talk
think-
earlier? That's pretty
what do you
much what
think
they
Je-
have on deck for him.
What do you think Jesse Hart will do to Berlanga if they got him? into it?
Yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
Just
I don't
tell
know
me
why
that.
we're
Yo,
talking
why
about
is
that.
Tell me that.
Yeah,
Just
why-
tell me that.
Wait, Mirage,
That's a
why
nice
is he fucking
sidestep
run
you
through
did
your
right
head?
there. Would
You
stay
He's
on
not-
top.
Get
he's
back
not
with an
fighting
answer,
Berlanga.
then we'll talk.
Jesse Hart is not fighting
Jesse Hart's
Berlanga.
a
You
good
watch
fighter.
about.
That's a good fighter. That's a good stay busy fight.
Okay, all right. That's all you gotta do.
If it happens. If it happens.
It just doesn't make sense, though. So what would Jesse
But
Hart
he's
do
bigger
to a
than
guy
David.
that's below a weight class than him?
Dude, he's bigger than David, dude. That guy's huge, Jesse Hart. This guy's
Wasn't
like
he at 175?
Yeah. He fought
Hey,
his last
wait,
he fought
Mirage.
against,
Everybody,
Joe Smith
Mirage.
Jr. Joe Smith.
Mirage. Every guy that Canelo fights is bigger than him. You don't give him any credit. Maybe look at Benavidez, so he's smaller than Jesse Hart.
great point.
Look how big
Great
that guy
point.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, but they already met this point before. He's always got a weasel in
Because
his
you
arguments.
guys say David's only good because he fights because he's bigger. You always say that, remember?
Well, it's one of
So
one
he's
of
doing
the
it. He's a
reasons.
weight
It's not
bully.
the only reason.
It's actually good because
Weight
he's fighting
bully.
normal.
He's a weight bully.
Well, he is. And you want to know why we say that? Just look at his last fight.
Because he's talking crap.
Just
making
look at his
excuses.
last fight.
But when
That
he
proved
beat, when he
that
actually
vindicated
beat
us.
Bosnick,
That vindicated us. That's evidence. He couldn't even hurt
Yeah, he
this
gave
guy.
it
dominating a bigger guy proves your point. Oh, okay.
Where's the? I
What are
didn't
your-
see a he did dominate him, Mirage. We all agree on this, but he didn't look like a monster.
What would you accept that proves?
I wouldn't
the
say
point to you?
dominate.
Yeah,
I'd say he
busted up
beat him.
hands,
But
man.
He beat him.
even
exactly.
then, I wouldn't say
You can't
dominate.
knock out somebody.
That's
with
not the
hands.
right
He's
word
got
to
no
say.
hands.
He beat. Yeah.
Came
exactly.
away
Well,
with
was there a monster in there? No fucking monster. No fucking monster.
Dude, he had not.
Yeah, there
one,
was a
but two
monster in
hurt
there.
hands.
He
It
was
literally-
washed
it was
and
basically
gun shy.
No
That
handed.
that
Yeah,
monster
everybody's
Vosdick
just
fought.
talking now.
That monster Vosdick fought. If that was the same Vosdick that fought Beterbiev, you would have beat Benavidez that night.
I mean, he came away with
Well,
6
that's
injuries.
fantasy. That's
Oh yeah, you're right.
Apparently
No,
a jab-
6
The
injuries.
jab to the
whatever.
body broke one of his ribs.
woulda, coulda, shoulda, man. I'm interested in facts.
How do you
reality.
get
That's
6
what
injuries
That's what I care about.
like
That
that?
well, I mean, Vosdick was washed and gun shy. That's a fact.
That
He
is a
was
fact. We will
knocked
never
out
see
his
him
brain.
again.
He
We will
was-
never.
Yeah.
He's so gun shy. We will never see him again. I saw
No,
gun-
you guys are.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you the reason why he was gun shy. He left all the bullets in Ukraine during the war, bro.
Oh,
No, but he was washed. He was old, and Benavidez couldn't
He,
stop
he
him.
was in the best. Bucci, he was in the best physical shape ever. You look at the weigh-ins. That was in terms of physical shape.
There he goes. There he goes. Oh,
fuck
look at his
outta
arms.
here,
ever.
bro.
The best
Look at his
ever.
arms.
Look
So
at that
you're
body.
saying that was a better
that body.
Vosdick than the one Beterbiev fought, Mirage?
physically stronger, bigger, physically stronger. Even his head was bigger.
Let
Go
me
check
tell
out his
you
head. This guy,
something,
like,
Pandeo.
Fucking crazy,
grew.
dude.
He literally grew. So yeah, physically,
No, I
yeah,
think
he
you're
was
just
full
comparing
shape.
his physique next to David Benavidez, which everyone has a better physique than David
No,
Benavidez.
there's
That's
photos
what you're
out
getting.
there.
So did that
He
fight
looked like a
prove that he
boy
can beat
versus
Beterbiev to
Beterbiev.
you, Mirage?
Physically, he looked like a boy versus Beterbiev compared to this version.
Oh, you're
Looked
crazy.
like it was carved out of
All
stone.
right.
It was carved
Yeah,
out of granite.
when he was light heavyweight champion, he was in worse shape. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because he got better gear now. It was on the juice. That's why.
Hey, by the way, you know what I realized? That Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois are fighting for the IBF heavyweight title. So
Yeah, Dubois has the belt.
Oh,
That's
Dubois
how big
has the
that's really.
belt. Okay, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
Yeah,
elevated.
exactly. He's the one, he
Oh.
got that's why Joshua set that fight up. But this is all meant for him, don't you guys think? This isn't
yeah, of
meant to
course.
like project Dubois.
You know, and Josh. Oh, to project. Wait, what?
Or like to get him further. Like he got that belt, like obviously for Joshua. He's
Oh,
holding it. He's a
okay. You were,
placeholder.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I said that funny.
So now AJ was saying that he's looking forward to becoming a 3-time heavyweight champion. I'm like, nobody believes you are gonna be a 3-time heavyweight champion. This reminds me of Holyfield
Ric
versus
Flair.
John Ruiz.
Oh, dude, I thought you were gonna say it. It reminds me of like Ric Flair in the '80s. He's like, I'm 13 times
14.
world
Next he became
champion.
14 champion. Yeah, I remember. Like
he just keeps going on. It's like that means you lost a. That means you're
14
losing a
times.
lot.
No, it's ridiculous.
Hey, no Diddy, but if AJ looked like who's a Ugmo, he wouldn't be AJ. He's lucky he has Turkey Sugar Daddy.
But I got Dubois tomorrow.
Yeah. What?
There's a lot of fights tomorrow.
Really? Cool, man.
I got Dubois, bro.
Yeah, good for you. It could happen. He can knock
How
him
do you
out.
how do you have him winning? I'm curious.
Probably knockout.
Knockout, bro. Look, both these fighters have tasted the ground before. Both these fighters have been stopped. Both these fighters have quit. And then I feel like Dubois has faced better opposition than fucking AJ's last 4. Like to me, those last 4 guys, Dubois will beat the shit out of them too.
You're right.
Yeah, that's fair.
The fight is down the line, bro. It's 50-50. I just have the younger dude winning.
I don't know, but a lot of people are saying that Dubois mentally is not all there. He's weak.
Bro, he's autistic, bro. He got that autistic power. He's fearless. He's coming. He's coming out of that autistic world with his fucking autistic powers. Watch out. He's on a roll, bro.
I think he's gonna
on
melt
a
during
roll.
the fight. To be honest, I think he's gonna melt during the fight, and then AJ is gonna take over.
Now I feel like placing a bet.
I kind of
Now
think
feel
so
like
too. I
placing
think
a
he
bet.
gets tired.
What are the odds?
I think.
Damn.
I think it's a decent assessment, though. I like what you said, but I think
It's a
he's
good
going to
fight,
get
though.
tired. Yeah,
It's a
I
good
agree.
fight. Good fight.
I think he
Yeah, I
gets
don't
tired around like 6 to 7, and then I think AJ will try to finish him off around 8 to 9.
Bro, I have the fight ending under 8. So
Okay.
we'll see. I'm excited.
Is AJ? A lot of people consider AJ elite. Is he elite to you guys? Because to me, he's like the most.
By today's standards, yes.
AJ?
By boxing standards, no.
He's elite for heavyweight.
But-
bro.
Yeah,
but-
for a heavyweight. For a heavyweight.
So wait,
but
based on
isn't
his
he the
last
most?
4 fights?
When you talk about elite, like it has to be another elite fighter that could beat you. But this guy, I feel like he could beat by literally anybody. Could just walk in and beat him on any given night. I mean,
So what happened there?
I don't
Go
know.
ahead, Bert.
I would say
He only
AJ's
lost to
elite.
people.
Hey,
I mean, he's just
Virtuoso,
he's
you're
always
not
on
coming in
gambling.
very loud, buddy. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Oh, that's a fan. That's a fan. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's probably why nobody can hear you talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that I can't really buy that narrative that Dubois faced better opposition. I don't know, man. He looked like trash against Kevin Lorena. He quit against Usyk. He fought an overweight Gerald Miller, and Hergovich is he's kind of an underachiever, man. Even though he's he can hit hard, he's an underachiever, and he had a lot of right hands. He's not good at moving his head.
I think Dubois did pretty good against Lomachenko. Lomachenko. Fuck Usyk against Usyk.
Huh?
He pretty
Hey,
beat
Yo,
Lomachenko.
Stash,
he beat
lay off the
Usyk.
weed,
That,
man.
that was that was not a
Appreciate it.
nut shot, bro. He
Yeah,
beat
that was
Usyk.
not a nut shot, bro. He
That
hit him
Really?
on the
Not a
bout line, honestly.
that was
He hit him
that
on
was
the
a
bout line.
I
And
don't
then,
What
know.
happened afterwards?
I don't know.
after he hit him on the bout line, his trunks bounced and it made it look like a low blow.
it was a low blow. Cut the crap.
Nah,
Well,
that shit
whatever.
was on the bout
But
line.
still, Dubois did pretty good. I mean, he was in there, in the fight.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta
but he
stop making.
quit.
Briefly.
He fucking
We gotta
quit,
stop making.
man.
He quit. No, but that's right, guys. He quit. He quit. That's what I'm telling you, man. This guy, he's mentally weak.
But the,
Hey,
but don't
but
you think
AJ
that
quit
says more
against Andy
about?
Ruiz, though. Andy
But
Ruiz is
isn't
also
that
a
more of
fat,
a?
overweight guy.
Isn't
Yeah,
that more a
man. He
thing?
avenged that loss.
An issue of AJ? Isn't that more about all this says about AJ is that you can't put too much stock in this guy. You know he's very beatable.
Yeah,
By
but
even
He's a wild
mid-range.
card.
AJ has more weapons than him.
No, I know. I'm just saying as far as how you rate this guy. Is he elite? He's good. Where you put him as far as a competitor.
I think he's elite, but I wouldn't consider him an ATG.
No.
Second best.
Elite?
I agree.
No, I'm
Negative.
saying I wouldn't. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
no.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, other than what? There's only one heavyweight better than him. That's Usyk, and then Fury's number 3. I put Joshua at number 2.
Number 3. Oh, you mean?
No, I think Joshua. I put
What?
Joshua at number 2. Fury at number 3.
I mean,
Well,
do you think how would Zilly Zhang fare against Wilder? You think AJ would box him easily, or would Zhang get to that chin?
Zanger, it's old though that he gets extremely tired pretty quickly. That's what happened with Joseph Parker.
He could get to that chin though. I mean, he only needs. I mean, that guy. That's the one guy who just
Amateurs
needs one shot.
go watch their Joshua Zhang fight at the Olympics. Joshua's the one that knocked him down.
Okay.
So, I mean, they fought before. I still go with Joshua.
Joshua
Straight
also
right hand
has
is the
power, man. The thing is, Joshua
Yeah, he
has
does.
power. He's good at setting
He
up
does.
those punches. He has more than. He's not like Deontay Wilder who only had one right hand. This guy has a left hook, straight right, uppercut,
And
yeah.
rear uppercut. Yeah, that's his money punch. I was talking to Alan last night about that. Like, he's dirty as shit. Like, if you watch how he does it, like when he fought Klitschko, he'll throw the left hook and he'll cup your head so you can't like lift your head up, and he'll line the uppercut up. He'd probably be a decent street fighter in that regard, or like if he could take like a leg kick, he'd probably be a decent kickboxer or MMA guy. He gets it.
All right, in the chat, JA says Joshua's underrated. Him versus Lennox Lewis is a 50-50 fight. I completely disagree with you, man. Sorry. Lennox Lewis, another level.
Yeah. I don't think the only one that could probably compete in that era right now is probably Usyk. And I still think
yeah, you're right.
And I still think Usyk loses in that era. That's how good that era is.
Yeah, imagine Usyk against Chris Bird. That would have been a good fight. Usyk against Lennox Lewis.
I mean, if Michael Hunter gave him a good fight, I can only imagine what Chris Bird would have did too. That's the one thing. All these heavyweights are lacking athleticism. That's one reason why Usyk is the number one guy right now.
I want to see the Tyson Fury rematch because I told you guys I think Fury was doing pretty good for in the first 5 rounds. In the 1 to 5, he did pretty good.
Yeah, the first 6 was a draw.
I think
you agree
I
with
think
me.
he'll do okay. I don't
Yeah,
think
the first 6 rounds it was a tie. It was 3-3. Well, at least that's what I had it.
I think it was a close fight, and even Usyk said he got hurt in it. But I think if you see the rematch, I think you're going to see more of a clear-cut victory for Usyk because he understands more. He's the one that's going to make the adjustments more than Fury is. What's the Fury's adjustment?
I see
I
the
just
other way
can't see
around.
what Fury can do. The only
Using
thing
more
that
elbows.
Yeah, I mean Fury. I mean, what is he going to do different? The only thing that he had really success with was the counter right uppercut. He didn't really have that success with the jab on the outside. He was missing the jab. He was missing his combinations. Every time he would throw his combinations, he would get countered because his hand speed isn't as good against Usyk as it is against these slower heavyweights.
Or foot speed, and he can't catch him. Yeah. Exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all.
The only thing different that Fury's going to do, he's going to fall down this time.
You think Fury's going to get dropped?
Yep.
But didn't the referee save him in the first fight?
he finishes him. I guess is what he's saying. 'Cause he dropped him in the first go round, but
Yeah,
I think he's
but
saying that.
guys, look at the big ass mistake that Fury made in that fight when he got hurt. He's throwing an uppercut from an awkward angle, very close, short. Like, what the fuck are you? And his hands are low down. Oh man,
Came over the
terrible.
top with the left.
He
With
came
the
over the
left.
top.
Yeah, he tried to throw an
What
uppercut
the
across
fuck
his
is that?
body and got countered over the top.
It's a clown.
Like I said, he's used to
Got
against
he
heavyweights.
makes
He would be able to.
so Fury makes these types of mistakes and pays for them. Like he happens like it happened against Deontay Wilder in the first fight. Look at the two knockdowns. He's clowning around and he gets hit behind the ear and all. Yeah.
But he wasn't clowning around in that instance. He was trying to go on the offense and let a combination go. But when he
sorry, but
his hand speed just
but it was a clown. It was a stupid move. Like, okay, also look at the knockdown in that third Wilder fight, the first knockdown of that fight. He's extending his arms. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. It looks completely weird and awkward, and then he gets dropped, walking in with both of his hands extended, arms extended.
You're talking about the first or third Wilder
The first knockdown of the third fight, of the third Wilder fight.
we all came
what
in
the
there
fuck
really,
is
really.
that?
He came in there really heavy too.
Look at that in slow motion. It looks horrible. You're like, why is he doing that? Because he was overconfident and he made a mistake. In an Usyk rematch, he won't do anything like that. He will fight composed. I don't think he's gonna win, but I'm saying this is he's gonna do. He's gonna be composed and he's gonna be sure that every time he throws a punch, his opposite hand, he's always protecting his fucking chin and the vice versa. And he's gonna fight the way he fought Wilder in the second fight, very composed. Now, is he gonna win the rematch?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think he'll definitely make. I think he'll definitely make adjustments, like especially based off what happened to him in the previous fight. I think what the bigger problem is, like I think some of the adjustments that he's going to want to make aren't going to be viable to him. He's not going to be able to move his feet around the things that I'm sorry. One more, real quick. The one thing he struggled with was actually Usyk getting in and out and punching him, and he was swinging and not hitting anything. How is he really going to adjust for that? And he's not going. In my opinion, he's not going to be able to do that. And the other thing that that counters after he does that, Usyk would jump right back in on him, so he'd get Fury going backwards. So he'd get him falling forward, and he miss, and then he'd jump him, and he'd get him going backwards. He caught him. He'd catch him twice, and it's just I think that if he were to make an adjustment, it's going to have to be more of a on the boxing side. He's really going to have to figure out a way how to fight his way in on the guy, and it has to be on the front foot. He cannot have Usyk go forward on him and get him on the ropes like that again.
Exactly.
Because even
he can't be on the back foot like that. Absolutely not. Hands down. No. He looked like he was.
I mean, if
control.
he's going to be on the back foot, he's going to have to keep on moving. Keep moving the pocket. Creating distance and letting your shots go.
Yeah, but when you get on the ropes, like you're pretty much stuck. So think about it.
Yeah.
If you're on the ropes, so you have two directions to move at this point. And then one of them, if depending where you are, it could be the fucking corner. So now you moved from one area to a more like confined area. Exactly.
He ended up in the corner a bunch of times.
And he was.
Yeah.
And Dale kept playing to his advantage. He's the taller guy, longer reach. He did his best to keep the smaller outside. And Usyk's not even a pressure guy, and he still was able to get in on him with jabs to the body, lefts upstairs, left.
Because Fury stopped fighting like a big guy. Fury stopped fighting like a big guy. He's the one going back. Like, come on, guy. Like, what the fuck? Who are you fighting? You're fighting a shorter guy. And when Fury was fighting like a tall guy, throwing 1-2s, and then I think he also threw like a left hook to the body. Usyk looked perplexed, and I think that's when the moment when Usyk said on that Steve Kim show, the 3 knockdown rule, that he almost went down. He said, he hit me so hard I almost went down. He said something like that. So
I believe it.
Fury was doing
it was the counter.
Yeah,
the counter right uppercut that jacked his jaw. But that was also when he countered Usyk coming on the inside. Though once again, that was when he was having his best. His best rounds was when he was fighting on the outside, and then countering Usyk as soon as he would get on the inside. Once he changed his timing out with the feints going in and out, Fury, the right uppercut got away from Fury, and that was his best bet, was to keep the small guy on the outside. Couldn't let Usyk work. I don't see how he beats them by getting heavier or trying to fight a smaller guy on the inside or at the mid range.
No,
He's just going to get
not on
countered.
the inside. No, that's not gonna work. He has to box. He has to box with Usyk. That sounds crazy, but he was doing pretty good boxing against Usyk.
I think the only thing, to me, the only thing that seems logical would be for him to get out and take the center of the ring, and then almost not really be so much on the back foot, but get on the back foot when he tries to come at you, but then reestablish the center position. You can never go back to the ropes again with him. You've seen what happens there. And then when he tries to fall into you, that's when you can set up your uppercut that you hit him with when he's coming at you. But you let him come at you in the center. Don't let him come at you when you're on the ropes.
Exactly. And he's just
because you need more maneuver.
Yeah, exactly. You can alleviate the pressure a little bit better versus, you know how it is. If you get once your shoulder blades get square on the ropes, how much farther can you go back? If you want to lean back, how much farther can you really go? And then when you go to lean back and you do get hit, that's way worse when you get hit. The damage is way worse because you have none of your weight underneath you. You're leaning. It's almost like a slingshot hit at that point. That's how people get knocked out of the ring.
That's literally what happened to him in the 9th round. He hit him so hard he slingshot it, and then he was bouncing across from ring post to ring post. You know how that DVD like screensaver logo when you're not using it too much when it's bouncing around the screen? That was scary in the 9th round.
Yep. And the referee saved his ass. Usyk had that left hand cocked ready to land that straight left, and the referee stepped right in. Oh, I wish he knocked that motherfucker out.
Yeah.
All right,
I got Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
I got Fury in the rematch in that fight.
There you go.
Oh, there's one
there
more.
You go. It's
Definitely.
possible, man. People are laughing about that. They think
I think Fury's gonna do better, but he's still gonna lose. It's gonna be like AJ. AJ did better in the rematch, but still lost.
Yeah.
No, Fury's IQ is a lot.
Can do.
Fury's IQ is a lot better than AJ's.
I agree.
That dude,
No,
he can adjust. You know what wasn't working for him, and nobody said it besides a homie that's a super Fury fan. He's like, bro, he couldn't clinch and hug and lean on him like he did with the bigger dudes. He's too small. He moves around. If he fixes that,
that's what I said.
that's it. I didn't hear you earlier, but I just got on right now. Back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I meant like after the fight night, the stream that happened after the fight.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Lomachenko's dad teaches him that shit. Like when you clinch them, like they put their head right in underneath your throat and your chin. That's a wrestling tactic. So when you go to clinch them, you're actually kind of choking. They're bracing against you, so you can't really grasp them really well. It's smart. And then you see Loma do it all the time. His head goes right in your throat, and you see him start pulling his arms out, and he starts framing to hit you.
I think they have better core strength than what they expect. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a part where. Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just saying, like Usyk, like he kind of knows a little bit of sambo, but so does Lomachenko. So I think they have more better core strength, so to be able to have more control.
Loma's dad was a Greco-Roman coach, I think. So you see a lot of that. If you see how they hold each other in a lot of the arm positions, if you guys watch any of that Olympic style wrestling, he's doing a lot of that sometimes when guys try to grab them. He's using leverage against them. So when you go to grab him, he's framing against their body. So when they go to squeeze and grab onto him, they're actually squeezing against themselves. It's a good tactic.
You said the key word, like they're masters of leverage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're smart, and especially if you want to be a puncher, that's actually not a bad thing to learn, because how do you gonna get your shots off with a guy like Andre Ward that wants to smother you and really tie up your arms like that? The opposite of that reaction would be like to start like, how do I get my arms out of here? Well, it's like you need to use what they call your third arm, and that's your head. You start putting your head like across, like in their eye socket, in their chin, and if you're shorter than them, you actually jam it up in the throat, and you start lifting their chin up, because they can't. If your chin's getting lifted away from your body, it's hard for you to squeeze your arms and like kind of clasp a guy. So the head will be like one of the better ways for you to control in that situation. That's why, you know, it's kind of funny. You see Floyd do it all the time. When people try to grab him, what do you get? You get a forearm in the neck, and if you duck too low, you get the forearm on back of the neck.
No, you get he'll either push him. Yeah, exactly. He'll either push him away, elbow, or use illegal forearms.
The Muay Thai.
He's elbowing you.
It's the Muay Thai.
Muay Thai style, literally Muay Thai style.
Yeah, it's like a cross guard on steroids, pretty much.
And all that's illegal in boxing, by the way.
Well, the cross guards are not illegal. You're just not supposed to.
No, but you're not supposed to push people.
Well,
right.
Not if you have Kenny
You're
Bailey.
not supposed to elbow them.
Well, not if you have Kenny Bailey as
Exactly.
a referee. Yeah.
You gotta have a referee who's lenient with that.
People got mad. People got mad when this ref stopped Berlanga with that head ramming shit that he was doing. He was doing the fucking Virgil thing. You know how Virgil was coming in with his head with Bohachuk and he would just meet him? He tried that and the ref told him, nah. You can't hurt the cash cow, bro.
Meanwhile, he was fucking pushing him and elbowing him.
That's how it be. You know, LeBron James gets the calls even though they ain't called.
Well, they have to, right? Now you're protecting your investment. And especially like the NBA. Boxing is kind of similar in that regard, right? High key
Tom
fighters.
Brady was one of the most protected football players I've ever seen, bro. You look at that dude, flag.
Sure.
That was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But think about how much money they had associated with them. Like the whole NFL brand, like even other players, not other players, other teams, they actually made money off his likeness because he became like a spokesperson for the NFL. So now they get to have the benefit of this guy just playing, and they get residual income, like, you know, from networks and everything like that. And they use his likeness to make money. Of course, you have to protect that guy, and it's taking money in everybody's pockets, I guess is my point.
Yeah, I'd say Mahomes is even more protected now, especially in the softer era of football, when they're talking about getting rid of cover 2.
You know why that is because there's a void. There's a vacuum, and now Tom Brady's gone, and kind of what you're alluding to now. They're looking for a guy that pretty much have that kind of marketability, right? I mean, guess what? Not to make it racial, but he's half white, half black. So there's a lot of that going on in America. Like, this is what an American should look like, you know? So he's kind of the poster boy for a lot of underlining political shit, too. A lot of people don't realize that.
Racist.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what's being reported.
I'm joking. All right,
I don't really care.
Obviously, on your own time, okay, bro?
Yeah, I'll try.
Go listen to some Hitler speeches.
Yeah, we'll do that next. Yeah. I'll listen to it in English. I'll have them like do it in English for me, so they can.
What's wrong with Hitler?
Goose stepping.
Yeah.
What time is the Munguia fight? Anybody know?
Nah, todavía falta, bro.
Okay.
What is it, 9 or 10?
I think Emiliano's next, if I'm not mistaken, bro.
Let me see.
Well, you guys better hope your boy wins. Can you imagine if he loses this fight? What are you going to do with him?
No, Munguia stopping Bazinian.
Yeah.
Ref stoppage.
Mirage bet on a stoppage. He's saying Munguia's going to get stopped. Hey, anything's possible, but come on. And I want to see...
No, Munguia stopping Bazinian. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, but Mirage is saying the opposite.
Live now.
He's actually
that's crazy.
betting on this.
Well, of course, like you have to understand the motivation, but I don't know. Like if he was as good as advertised, maybe it is worth the punt. How much? What he said the odds were like 10-1 for a knockout. I don't know. I don't know how much you guys are comfortable betting, but
that's not happening. 10-1. When it's 10-1,
well, I'll put it this way: just say in betting, say if it was a 10-1 odds, but it's really in reality it's like a 6-1. Well, you got like you have like a 40% perceived advantage. You know, if it is something like that, you bet it. You know, don't put a lot of money on it necessarily, but you bet it anyway. You know, because if it does pay it.
Canelo couldn't stop Munguia. This guy's not gonna stop Munguia.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think I would take the stoppage of it, but you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to give him I'm trying to actually analyze the avenue he was looking at.
Don't defend Mirage.
Don't
defend me.
Hey, you know, You know, what I want to see tonight from Munguia is more controlled, selective aggression. Because when that kid does that thing, bro, he's extremely fucking dangerous, man. He be doing that Davis shit where he lands 10 combo pieces in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and that can work against this guy, but against Canelo, it wasn't gonna work, obviously. And after he felt a knockdown, he was a different boxer. But yeah,
I mean, Berlanga was too.
I think it just surprised him. He's like, "Oh man!" Like every time I really step in, like the last time I did that, he blasted me pretty good.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He was hesitant a little bit. I don't think he was scared or anything, but he was just like, "Okay, this
That's
guy."
what it makes me think, bro. Like, how hard does this small dude punch? Like, you're big. Like, you're
I would
literally
say
200
pretty
pounds in the
good. When
ring.
people say he's not a good puncher, I think he actually is a good puncher. And I would argue, I would think Canelo would be stopping people, but the problem is that his output isn't there. Like people are acting like that left hook should have been a one-stop shop, but he's never been really that.
No.
He's done it once. He's done it a couple times to guys where he's hit him like, and James Kirkland, like he's hit him really square and got,
But against super
middleweights,
big guys, we haven't seen Canelo drop a guy with one shot like that.
No, but I guess what I'm getting at is that he needs to get back.
Oh, you're
Hang
right.
on for a second.
Kovalev was kind of a one shot.
Yeah, I mean that was almost, but he didn't like fold. I mean, Kovalev was still like, look to me, it looked like he was like regularly like cognizant. He's like, all right, fuck this, I'm out of here. You know? He's like, yeah, he's like, that was a good hit. He's like, get me the fuck out of here. That looked good enough. Yeah, I don't know.
You're saying it was staged.
I don't know if you want to. Staged is.
No,
I think it was a real fight. I think it was a real fight.
I think what you're trying to tell him is he clocked out like Danny Garcia did against Lara.
That's kind of similar. I don't think there's anything to win, and he didn't have the advantage of training properly for that fight. That was more just for him to collect the money.
His face said it all. He's like, "Damn, I'm not gonna win. I'm out." Because he wasn't really doing anything.
I thought he was doing a lot in the beginning, even though it was kind of limited, like the jabs and all that. Like Canelo didn't do anything for the better part of like 4 to 5 rounds. I thought Kovalev was in plenty control. It's just like you didn't see the follow up. Like he was setting him up, but there was no right hand anymore. He looked a shell of himself.
Hey, speaking of Lara, I want to see him with Terrence Crawford at 60.
Yeah, Terrence Crawford don't want to do that. That would be the worst fight. Are you kidding? I'm not talking shit on you, but I mean, like, I don't think Terrence Crawford wants that at all. That guy, if you got an even judges for that fight, Lara beats him. He's a much better fighter than him from a boxing standpoint. Lara would be all over him. And then guess what? There's no money for that either. So I don't see that fight at all.
Did you guys talk about the other fights? Like, what's his name? Anthony Case. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Versus Josh Head Buddington.
Akechi. That's how you say Anthony.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other night.
Itachi or whatever his name is.
I'm not a Warrington fan at all. I don't like watching him fight.
Is disgusting. I just can't stand it.
You don't like Muay Thai style?
No,
dude. He has a lot of. You know what I don't like about him? He has a lot of volume, but he can't punch, and it's just this. He needs like this accumulation of shots to be effective, but he's still not really very effective. I can't stand watching guys like that.
I don't mind it, bro. At least he's pushing forward and not being a bitch.
I get it. It's just like he doesn't punch correctly though, and he's not.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't.
But
I
mean,
have a hard time
it's
watching.
exciting. I'll give him that. You know,
it frustrates
it's entertaining.
Hey, I feel your pain because I feel the same way with David. I'm like, damn, bro, how you hit Vosdek with 200 power punches and didn't even bruise him?
Yeah, nothing. I know it makes it kind of hard to believe a lot of the hype that people are like shoveling with some of these guys. You're like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, especially the Benavidez fight. I have nothing against him. I hope he does well, but I don't think he's going to do shit at 175. I don't, because Gosdick was pretty. How do you say it? Like he was retired for 3 years or 2. I don't know how long it's been. Yeah, he's retired for a bit.
I agree with
Now
you. Benavidez just has no power at all at 175, and he's not going to be able to knock anybody. I mean, can you imagine him against Arthur Beterbiev? That'll be a massacre, basically.
I think he gets him in 6. I really do. I think Beterbiev would beat the hell out of him because he might look a little flashily. No, yeah, I think Beterbiev knocks him out in 6, man. Because
Beterbiev? No. Who knocks who out?
Beterbiev knocks Benavidez out like in 6 to 7 rounds.
Yeah.
He's just too like when you open that up like that, especially guys that have that much volume and they need to get the volume on you to hurt you, right? What is somebody like Beterbiev going to do? He's going to wait and he's going to disrupt the combination. I think he's going to fuck him up. Like you'll see him be flashy. You'll see Benavidez like kind of open up the arsenal, and then you'll see just one hard ass punch, and then he's going to be on fucking Queer Street. Then he's going to be on the ropes, and he's going to be on the corner. He's going to get the shit kicked out of him. This is how Beterbiev operates. That's not the kind of guy like you act like you're going to go take a fight to. And that's how Benavidez fights. He comes and like he tries to assault you, like death by 1,000 paper cuts, for a lack of a better term. You can't do that with a guy like Beterbiev.
That's a very garbage boxing take, as usual, man.
All right.
Why is that?
All right.
Firstly, you're ignoring Beterbiev has garbage defense. He's very hittable. So what do you think David's going to do to him? He's going to be piecing him up. Piecing him up. He's going to be faster. He's longer. David will stop Beterbiev. He'll stop him. He'll break him down. He'll stop him.
You think David stops Beterbiev? Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Do you disagree that Beterbiev's got
Are you prepared to bet on
defense?
that?
Bro, let's be real here.
I think defensively,
Break him down. Break him down.
Beterbiev's
Beterbiev's defense. Let's talk about it.
Amok, what did you say? I couldn't hear.
I think his defense is like.
I said this guy's crazy, but Beterbiev will actually lynch fucking Benavidez, and this guy's saying
talk about
the
defense.
opposite,
Did
just
you
to be a fucking
Did you
hipster.
see Anthony Yard piecing up
No.
Beterbiev? Beterbiev's been dropped like.
But you make it seem like Yard gives
think
everybody an easy fight. I bet you he'll be piecing up Benavidez.
No,
if they were to
why
fight
don't
right now, I
talk about
guarantee you
Beterbiev's
piece him up.
defense? Why are you deflecting? Beterbiev's defense.
I bet you
down.
money. I know you don't pay bets, so I bet you money if they were to fight, you'd piece him up. You won't win the fight, but it'll still
I'll answer your question directly.
I know you won't take that bet.
I'll answer your question directly.
Mirage,
Anthony Yard is a very physical fighter.
Hold up. Mirage, your voice sounds familiar. What do you do for a living?
He holds birds, I guess. That's what somebody was saying
What's that
earlier.
got to do with anything?
Oh, okay.
He
For a
trolls
second, I
the
thought you were
internet. That's
composed.
what he does for a
For a
living.
second, I thought you were Cambosis. I thought you were George Cambosis because you sound like him.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Now what?
Thank you. Thank you for confirming.
Appreciate it.
So Beterbiev's defense.
Okay.
Oh, what about Beterbiev? I mean, you're acting like Beterbiev has no fucking defense. He's gonna get pissed. I mean, come on, Mirage, man.
Yeah, it's not very. It's not
look
terribly
at his
accurate.
defense. He gets hit.
He does. He gets hit a lot.
But Benavidez got. Yeah.
What does Benavidez do?
David's
Did you see?
one of the most accurate punchers in the whole sport. In the whole sport of boxing.
That's
I
right.
don't think you're going to
Put that
see.
together.
Okay.
Defense, very accurate puncher. How does
Do
that?
you think?
Come on.
Do you think
1 +
Benavidez
1?
will have the
1
same
+
kind
1
of
equals
volume?
what?
Like an equation.
Do you think Benavidez will have the same kind of volume against somebody like that?
Yeah, because do you know why?
Yeah.
He's going to be right there in front of him. He's going to be target practice.
That'd be
Beterbiev
crazy
target
as shit.
practice.
That'd be the craziest shit ever. Are you? You're
I
insane.
don't know
You
because
sound
you don't
right
get
now.
it because you don't understand.
What am I
boxing
not
very
getting?
good.
Well, explain it to me.
I'm trying to. Yeah, Beterbiev. Yeah, you hype him up. He's a killer. He's been knocked down 2 to 3 times by UK level fighters. No,
He's only
defense, very hittable.
There.
Very hittable.
Also,
He comes
how did
forward.
he knock out?
That's a
didn't.
perfect style matchup for David. You don't understand it. Perfect matchup.
Perfect.
I don't
Yeah,
really
it's
understand what you
There's
just
no way
relayed.
you actually
You didn't
believe
make
that
your point
bullshit.
very well.
Well,
A perfect style matchup when there he's basically fighting a guy who does his style better than him, physically stronger, more durable, hits harder. I mean, he's going to get fucked up if he tries to go toe-to-toe with him. You know, if he tries to box him, well, Vosnik's a better boxer than Benavidez. And he stopped him, which Benavidez couldn't. So how the fuck is that a bad style matchup for Beterbiev?
I don't know if Gvozdyk. Forget about Gvozdyk. David can box as well. He's not going to just stand there like Joe Smith.
No,
He's not going to stand there like Joe. He'll break him down. He'll move. He'll jab him, and then he'll start landing his shots. He'll break him down.
Never did give his fights.
Of course. Did you see David box? Did David box Gvozdyk? Didn't he? He was boxing him.
Yeah, on the rope, get hit by a jab. Right.
Well, what else could he do? What do you think his options were?
Sometimes he's going to go. Yeah, but you guys are overrating Beterbiev.
That's one.
Yeah, he's good, but he's basic.
I don't know, man. Like, out of all the boxers in boxing right now, I think he's right where he should be. That guy is dangerous, and we all know it.
All right, listen, guys, we're gonna end the show. It's been 2 hours, and there's not much to talk about other than Benavidez all the time. So we'll see you next time when more stuff happens, more news. All right, take care.
All right, later.
See you guys. Thank you for being on. All right, guys, on YouTube. Yeah, listen, 2 hours is enough. We have some boxing tonight. Munguia is fighting. Then tomorrow we have AJ versus Dubois. So we're gonna have a show on Sunday. Unless something crazy happens, we'll have an emergency show right after the fight. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget, we're gonna be coming out with a BDA documentary, Boxing Most Shocking Moments, Volume 2. So stay tuned for that. And having said that, have a good night. Take care.
Listos pelos chingazos. Listos pelos chingazos.
I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.